That's one of the biggest problems. I mean, from a biological standpoint, with the very notion of a surveillance society. It's not even a surveillance state anymore. When you've got Google and Apple, which, I mean, that's crazy. Oh, finally, these two companies can work together when it comes time to support.
You're 6 minutes away from a live episode of Free Talk Live. Listen live at freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,694, silver at $14.93, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,878. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, the Small Business Association exposes private information of 8,000 small businesses in an accidental website leak. That's according to a report from Activist Post. CNBC on Tuesday reported that the private and personally identifiable information of as many as 8,000 small business loan applicants may have been leaked during the chaotic rollout of the Federal Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP. CNBC's Kate Rogers said the issues arose on the SBA side via the EIDL application process. The nearly 8,000 businesses impacted by the leak have been notified per the SBA. The impacted portion of the site was immediately disabled. The leak was purportedly a problem with the website, meaning it was very likely self-inflicted. Not exactly a vote of confidence in the federal government's ability to manage the task of handing out hundreds of billions of dollars of loans to every beauty salon, restaurant, and pro shop in the country. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. More alleged abuses by Border Patrol agents are emerging following a Guatemalan mother's ordeal. In a complaint filed with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Administration, a Guatemalan woman was forced to give birth while standing and fully clothed as she was being detained at the Chula Vista Border Patrol Station near San Diego. The Free Thought Project reports the woman complained of pain and was clearly pregnant, but her cries for help apparently fell on deaf ears. Her husband heard a baby's cries coming from the mother's clothing. He pulled down her pants to reveal the baby had already been born. The husband and her two other children looked on. Following the birth, the ACLU, along with Jewish Family Services of San Diego, filed an official complaint. The documentation was accompanied by a U.S. congressional letter signed by 12 congresspeople demanding HSA open an investigation into the woman's allegations. While the U.S. economy has faced a catastrophic shakeup due to the coronavirus pandemic, many Americans still proceeded to celebrate April 20th, also known as 420, the unofficial holiday for recreational cannabis users. The Mind Unleashed reports that while marijuana aficionados are enjoying their online smoking sessions and live stream concerts, executives in the legal cannabis market are faced with both the shockwaves created by the economic downturn and hopes that the crisis could clear the way for the federal legalization of the plant. Legal marijuana has not been unaffected by the crisis. While demand for the plant skyrocketed following stay-at-home orders and quarantine rules put in places across the United States, consumers faced with unemployment or lost job hours are reducing their spending or turning to the black market due to taxes and regulations. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Captain Actual America is overweight and hopelessly in debt, and the Richie Rich comic strip introduces a new, even gayer character. As if you needed another reason to remain in your isolated and socially degenerative cocoon, this is the Onion Week in Review, Comics Edition. Sources confirmed Tuesday that the Comic Book and Sci-Fi Expo Comic-Con was once again marred by BullyCon, an increasingly popular event held in the same convention space. Now in its 5th year, BullyCon reportedly drew more than 125,000 tormentors from across the nation, all of whom were bent on beating up and torturing those attending the many comic book, television, and movie panels at Comic-Con.
When this got started, it was just a couple of friends who wanted to beat the shit out of some Joss Whedon fans, but now there are thousands of us, ruining Walking Dead panels, taunting Harry Potter nerds, and really making some video gamers' lives completely miserable. I don't necessarily need to travel to San Diego to slap a copy of Spider-Man out of some pussy's hands, but there's something really special about coming together with people who dig the same sort of cruelty you do.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Conan.
And man, things have gotten crazy since last week. 420, the unofficial holiday for cannabis users throughout the world, happened yesterday, obviously. And New York City went crazy, arresting people for having pot parties. What shocked me is people passing around, because we did the 420 rally yesterday in Concord.
That's right.
What surprised me was seeing people
Conan wasn't there, but
passing around cannabis, like smoking
I know.
it. Like
Like
I'm
old
all for-
times.
Yeah, I'm all for, not taking the virus that seriously, but I think right now I would just smoke my own.
Oh,
know?
really? Really?
Yeah.
That actually like crosses your line, huh? That's interesting.
Well, yeah, it's basically like French kissing strangers.
Sure, but I've been doing that for 2 decades of my life.
Oh, for sure.
So
I've heard that smokers are actually almost immune to this because their lungs are so crapped up with tar all over it. The corona doesn't have anything to
Really?
stick to. Yeah.
Well, I'm in good shape then.
There
I like
you go.
this. Right? In other news,
But I wanted to add something
yeah.
to that. I heard that the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, NORML, which has been for decades like one of the top lobbying organizations to try to change the laws, that at the beginning of this whole so-called crisis, that they actually put out a notice saying that they were warning marijuana users to not pass joints anymore, to not pass pipes, to no longer do the traditions of marijuana that have existed for decades, for generations of passing joints and pipes around. They were saying it's a new normal. You got to have your own joint, basically. You got to have your own pipe. Don't share it with anybody. And we were absolutely passing them around yesterday, just like it was any old day, because it was any old day. The only difference between today and last year and the years before that is all of a sudden people have gone insane and lost their minds over a bunch of what I would consider to be propaganda.
whether or not it is propaganda, I don't know.
It's propaganda.
Well, for sure. It's being used
Whether
as
it's
propaganda.
true is another question.
I still wouldn't partake in the passing of joint
Well,
ceremony.
you're not a cannabis smoker anyway.
No, but I used to
Right.
be.
Okay. Did you partake? Did you pass them at that time? So you feel like the danger is higher now, or would you have not partaken in passing it a year ago?
I don't think I would have passed it a year ago, simply because my perspectives on things have shifted.
So then it wasn't the COVID thing that changed.
I wouldn't think so, but
Okay.
I was still surprised to see it had no consideration whatsoever among the people gathered, except for the reporter who was out there. I don't think anyone else
Yes,
gave
she
any
didn't
thought
want
to
any.
it.
Well, I think that one of the guys there who was handing out joints, who I didn't know, Carlos, I met him there, and he was giving out joints before 420 happened, right? So we start at 420, and he was handing out a few joints, and So, I thanked him because we'd brought our own. I didn't need it, but he handed me one, and so I lit it up, and we're smoking at the time, and I offered to pass it back to him, and he looked like he was considering not taking it, and I think I think that's probably what was going through his mind. He didn't verbalize that, I rolled these specifically for each individual. That was just sort of the impression that I got, and he kind of just shrugged it off and accepted it, and then it just started going around, so it was awesome.
I've run into the same situation in the last 2 weeks with handshaking. You go in for the handshake, and then both freeze and think about it for a split second, and then we're like, "Oh, screw this nonsense," and we go into the handshake.
Good.
But these are good old boys, not necessarily little old ladies at Walmart who like to yell at me because I stand too close to the person in front of me. You've been yelled at twice
who
now.
Yelled at
this
you?
has happened.
Staff or another customer?
Staff.
Whoa.
So I've been yelled at twice now because I just forget. I either put my groceries on the conveyor belt before I'm supposed to, or I stand a little too far in the over top of the stand here box.
I think that we should be acting like this is ridiculous. I think that.
I always give them the eye. I roll my eyes. I give them the eyebrow. And I'm like, look, all right,
I'm gonna start
whatever.
saying things. I started it this past weekend when I went to a gas station out at the 420. As I said something about that they were behind plexiglass, and I said something like, "This is ridiculous," or "This plexiglass stuff is ridiculous." So I was specific with what I was being critical of.
I just choose not to go to places that do that sort of thing.
It's going to be everywhere.
Yep, you wait when we go back to work.
Hopefully not, man.
Where have you been where it's not right now?
It's not going. The masks.
Corner News. Maybe?
They're gonna let people go back to work.
Do they? I haven't been there in about a week.
It's been 2 weeks since I've been there. They had it when I was there. They had the hanging. It wasn't plexiglass. It was hanging down like plastic, basically.
Hanging by
whatever
wires.
Yeah, whatever.
You know those clear plastic binder pages that you can put sheets of paper in to keep them safe? I walked into a gas station earlier, and an employee had one of those wrapped around his head.
Oh, it's lunacy out there. The people have lost their damn minds.
And on top of that, they had one of those plexiglasses, so he's like...
double protected.
I'm just like, well, you just sell me this monster so I can get the hell out of here.
The folks have lost their minds. You wait. When they release us back into the wild... I've been an essential warrior this whole time, so I've been going to work. But Sununu, our guy, His Excellency, is going to say, "All right,
my guy.
You can go back to work, but you're all going to be wearing masks."
Well, that's part of what the big question is what are the rules going to be in New Hampshire? We haven't seen any proposals yet. He's supposedly working on that this week, right? I don't know if you guys heard that, but
I did not hear that.
Supposedly working on
Not the beaches, but maybe everything else, yeah.
Oh, that's right. He's supposed to release it by Friday.
Is that what he said? I don't know.
I thought it was by Friday.
But, last week we covered Texas and California and their plans, which involve total medical authoritarian statism, being if you want to reopen, if you're not a so-called essential business, if you're one of these businesses that wants to reopen, then you have to follow their Department of Health and Human Services so-called guidelines, which are now mandates that you do X, Y, and Z. One of them, and remember, Texas is supposed to be like a business-friendly state, right?
Yeah. So, as is New Hampshire.
Right. One of them in Texas is that if you have a business that you want to reopen, you cannot allow your customers to come inside.
Hold on. How are you supposed to sell things to your customers?
You got to take them out to the street for them.
You figure that out. They would have to somehow know what items you have. How they're going to do that, I don't know. Unless they're regular customers and know exactly what they want every time. So they're going to have to somehow know what you have. They'll have to phone the order in or internet order the order in, and then they arrive at your store. You can send an employee out to deliver the product to their car.
The businesses that have successfully done this here in this town, most of the shopping is done online. Mm-hmm. You put in an order. You go to them, you honk, or you call them. They'll have their number on the door. They come out to you. They've got a card reader. And they'll slide your card and hand you your purchase, and that's it. And
they're instructed to put the item in the trunk or in the back seat of the car. So you're not allowed to get out and take the item or help them with the item or whatever. If they deliver the item, they're only allowed to leave it at the door.
This is in Texas.
Wow. This is if you want to reopen. So you have to completely...
How long are these restrictions projected to last?
Clear.
Forever.
It's not clear.
If they have their way,
forever. Until they feel like it.
If Fauci has his way, if Gates has his way, in 18 months from now, it'll be all good
crazy.
to go. Whenever the vaccine comes out, it'll all be good to go.
Think about this.
But you got to get your vaccine, and you got to get your chip, and your new tattoo, Aria.
You do IT work.
Your new
Aria.
vaccine tattoo.
I don't think any of what Conan just said is likely, but
yes. you know
it's what they want.
You know how businesses are with their websites. They're like an afterthought for most businesses. Local businesses, they have a website, they have a Facebook page maybe. Some don't even have a website. They just have a Facebook page, right? They're not Walmart. They're not Amazon. They don't have an entire inventory. They're not Staples. They don't have their whole inventory listed online. So it's impossible for a customer to shop online if they don't already know what the products are. If they have no idea what they want, they can't browse if they can't go into the store. So these businesses are going to lose tremendous business if they even try to reopen under these circumstances.
Yep.
And don't forget, the employee then has to go inside and wash their hands after they deliver to every single customer car.
The new normal, man.
It's nuts.
It is.
So
it's
that's
like
the question is, how much of that is going to be in New Hampshire?
And don't think about complaining.
I can't imagine New Hampshire would put up with it, but I didn't imagine New Hampshire would put up with any form of a lockdown.
Don't think about complaining about it on Facebook and starting a new group to do a protest, because it's going to get taken down.
YouTube's taking down videos of that stuff
left
too,
and
apparently.
right. Left and right, because it's dangerous.
Well, Facebook has always had a heavy hand with censorship, right? And the reasoning for this one is that, it's technically illegal to be doing these things.
Well, that's what they would say, but others would say it's completely constitutional and, these are our human rights and they should be protected.
Freedom of speech.
Protesting, as far as I'm aware, you can't really make that illegal.
But they have.
They have.
Yeah.
And they're not going to stop. So what else is going to happen next? 855-450-3733.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control, and you can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Conan.
And you know, for years, libertarians of all stripes have wanted a directory of liberty-minded businesses, and we're helping to build one, Liberty.menu. Liberty.menu is a tool for our community. At its core is a directory for events, businesses, and digital content, and more. Listings can be rated and reviewed, and there's a bit of a social network aspect to it, so you can connect and share with others. However, use of Liberty.menu is exclusively for individuals who reject the initiation of force and those who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. So put your voluntarist ideas into action at Liberty.menu and use code FTL to get a special badge. Again, that's Liberty.menu. Now, we're talking about the craziness going on as we see
the lunacy.
The strangest thing about yesterday was as we held our signs, as we held our signs and waved at people, was seeing people drive around wearing face masks inside their own personal vehicles. It makes me wonder if these people are just sitting at home
with a face mask on,
watching Tiger King, wearing a face mask.
I don't know. Who knows?
And their underwear. What, with a face mask on?
It's totally insane, man. Well,
They are scared. These people are frightened.
Well, they've been told to be.
Right. And they're constantly being told to be, not only by the government, but by the mainstream media. And if all they're doing is sitting inside watching television, then they're seeing even more mainstream media. They're immersing themselves in it. The reporter that was here yesterday that we spoke with from the BBC, she actually sat in on the show for a segment last night. She's completely immersed, right? So one of the questions that she's asking me is like, well, I've been talking to all these doctors in New York City, and there's all this, danger and bad, scary danger. And I'm like, well, out here in the rest of the world, we have a different perspective on these things. If you were to immerse yourself in this and believe everything you're told, you're going to believe that this is the most deadly thing that we've ever come across in our lifetimes, and that everybody should be as scared of everybody else. Everyone's a potential carrier. Even your own family members are a danger to you now. And that we need the government to keep us safe.
It reminds me of 2016 with the Trump election, as these rich liberal students in colleges just sat around telling themselves, if Trump gets elected, it's going to be the next Holocaust.
And we're all moving to Canada.
LGBT people, disabled people, they're going to be rounded up and put in ovens. And they worked themselves up into this hysterical, psychotic frenzy.
And now those same individuals are complaining that he isn't authoritarian enough. He didn't lock us down hard enough.
True.
The boot didn't come down hard enough on our necks. What's wrong with this guy?
Yeah, it's true. There was a survey done in New Hampshire where it broke down. I mean, it was a tremendous number of people that were in, like 2/3 of people in New Hampshire that responded to the survey. Now, probably they're not all New Hampshire natives, right? But these people responding to the survey, 2/3 of them thought that the social distancing was way more important than restarting the economy. A very, very small, slim number want to restart the economy. But when you broke it down by political perspective,
right,
it was way more Democrats wanted the social distancing than the undeclareds, not as many, and then the Republicans not near as many, but still a good solid number wants the social distancing.
I would also like to see those stats broken down even further into who works for a living versus kids, college kids, retirees. Because I bet you would
They
see
did
that.
break
I bet
down
you see
demographics.
90% of the damn working force, the guys who are actually paying their bills every month on time or living month to month, like probably a lot of them are.
I shared it last night, Conan. If you go to the Free Talk Live Twitter at twitter.freetalklive.com or the Mastodon at toot.freetalklive.com or telegram.freetalklive.com, just scroll back to yesterday and click in there because they did do a demographic breakdown. So by age group and I think a couple of other categories as well.
Well, let's go to the phones. We've got Steve calling from Arkansas. Steve, you're on Free Talk Live.
How's everybody doing?
Hey, Steve.
Hey, what's on your mind?
So, I feel like we're living in like the Twilight Zone.
Black Mirror, actually.
Do what now?
Black Mirror. Have you ever seen any of
I mean,
those?
that was inspired by the Twilight.
I've never gotten into that, but no, it's so bizarre because I personally know one person that has actually contracted COVID-19. It's just a buddy from college. He lives down in Alabama now.
How old is he and how did it go for him?
He is about 35, and he was fine. I mean, he stayed home, had a little cough, nothing major.
No biggie.
I don't know a single person who has it.
But I physically know more people that tried to buy a tiger with their stimulus check than people who actually came down with the virus.
Well, that's the thing.
So,
you may know people who have it, but they just don't know they have it because this one guy that you know, the only reason he knows he had it is because he went and got tested. Most people, if they came down with a cough in February, March, or April or whatever, would just weather the storm. They'd get through it. They'd take a day off work if it was really bad, and then they'd be all right.
Yeah, the question you need to ask yourself is how many people do you know that have been tested, and then go from there? Because I'm thinking a lot of them were tested. It came out negative, and a lot of people who were positive, they didn't have any symptoms because they walked it off. Because guess what? Because they have an immune system.
See, I don't care about the testing. The media narrative about this, the social distancing narrative, the lockdown narrative, so everybody's going to die if we don't do these things.
We've had people accuse us of manslaughter.
I know 0 people who have died from this.
Right.
Well, here's another question to ask. How many of the essential warriors that are out there, all of the Walmart employees, a lot of these delivery guy, I'm the delivery guy.
Let's give a shout out to the essential workers who aren't healthcare workers.
Yeah, thank you. The new
the ones who are actually keeping the world going
the
right
new
now.
heroes, the truck drivers of the world. Yeah, how many Walmart employees that have been out on the front lines this entire month and a month and a half now almost that have gotten the COVID, have gotten the corona? How many?
It must have happened. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's no telling. And I live in western Arkansas. I'm only about an hour from Walmart headquarters. And Highway 49 is probably the busiest highway in the state. And right now, currently, as we speak, Highway 49 is shut down because some poor SOB is on top of a bridge saying he's going to jump. So they have traffic stopped. He's probably just some poor sap that's sick of seeing his wife and kids every day because he can't go to work.
Or maybe he's fired from his job and he's buried under loads of debt, as many Americans are.
Living paycheck to paycheck.
And feels as though life is hopeless. I mean, I wouldn't blame somebody for feeling pretty despondent in this circumstance.
Exactly. I mean, my wife owns a beauty salon. Of course, she was forced to shut her beauty salon. It's been a month now. Of course, they just approved more funds today for these small business loans, but she's self-employed, so the system's not set up for self-employed folks to get unemployment yet. Now, they're saying there'll be back pay, but that doesn't. For the last month, she hasn't brought a dime into the house, and, we're going to be fine. Unfortunately, I have a good job.
Right.
But for the single moms that do that, what are they doing? They're losing their minds right now.
I bet.
Excellent point, Steve. Thank you so much for the call. I hope the guy out there on the bridge right now is reasoned with and he comes down. But that $1,200 stimulus check is already gone for most Americans.
I haven't gotten mine yet.
And there's not another one coming.
Oh, there's going to be more coming.
There'll be more.
I bet you there's going to be more.
This is UBI. This is the new. They're testing it. They're testing UBI to see if it'll work. It's coming.
But they know it won't.
It's a pacifier, though.
This is Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Never, ever send a follow-up email asking, "Did you get my email?" Email 101. If it didn't bounce back undeliverable, it got where you sent it. And avoid transmedia pestering, like calling to ask, "Did you get my email?" or emailing to say, "I left you a voicemail." If your emails and voicemails aren't being acknowledged, your problem isn't technology, it's technique. Is your message concise and understandable? Have you boiled it down to seem as relevant as possible to the recipient? In other words, is it the opposite of spam or junk mail? All of this really matters if you're a job seeker. But even if you're not, with money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's free, Ian.
And Conan.
And Bitcoin. Did you almost say it's Free Talk Live?
I don't know what I was going to say there.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com that allows you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash using dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. So finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Again, that's local.bitcoin.com. The best place and easiest place to get Bitcoin Cash for those out there who, for some reason, haven't bought it yet.
It's never too late.
It isn't. Gold and cryptocurrency is what I'm advising everyone to get into right now because the banking system is doing everything it can to destroy the USD as fast as possible. Well, let's go to the phones. We got Lonnie calling from California. Lonnie, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, what's on your mind?
Well, I just want to say welcome to the hashtag COVID-1984. Everybody stay home, huh?
I'm actually going to go in another direction, another dystopia. This is COVID, Brave New World. Not a whole lot of the
Where's the Soma?
This is.
I want to get high.
That's your video games. That's your Tiger King.
Oh, right.
Didn't you do that yesterday? Wasn't that your Soma?
Well, Soma was way more effective, right? Like, have you ever read Brave New World?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the people
For listeners
are,
that don't know.
The people want this, and that was the key element of Brave New World. The people wanted their authoritarian rule, telling them how to live their lives every day, telling them what they could and couldn't do.
The entertainment aspect, I thought, was way more important. Like the Marvel movies, as much as I enjoyed them, really drove it home. It was just the same movie released over and over and over, and the masses loved it.
They eat it up.
And it's just divide and conquer. Not only will the people demand their enslavement, but, it'll tear them apart from the inside. I had a friend telling me today that because I support people protesting and going outside that, and I said, like, that made me a racist, that
a
made
racist?
me a murdering racist. Someone that's like putting people's lives at risk.
Oh, I see.
Then,
You're against the human race kind of racist, right?
I liked something that had acknowledged that the flu was from Wuhan, so that made me a racist. But no, I'm just trying to, one good thing that, can come out of it is that it forces people to open their contact list and call their friends for work, so that can be a tax-free, consent transaction with consent. So that's how agorist transactions have been blossoming in my life recently. I just kind of be like, okay, well, I'm not going to stay inside. Like, I want everyone to keep going to work. So who can I link up with if that's in that same camp? And people will call you a lot of weird things.
Oh, the biggest laugh I had was over this weekend. Somebody told me that a former listener, former supporter who's completely turned against me and Free Talk Live and hates Keene and hates civil disobedience activism.
Well, we ruined libertarianism.
That kind of person, yeah. So this person was accusing all of us that went to these protests over the weekend of being manslaughterers.
Right.
What worries me about this entire thing is how that group refuses to have a good faith conversation with us. Like, okay, I value liberty more than I value life. They value life more than they value liberty. I understand where they're coming from, but they refuse to recognize the validity of our position.
Well, they'll shoot you.
We're just
apparently.
evil, hateful, selfish people, right?
If they think you're a manslaughterer, then that means that they will try to kill you if you get close to them, right? Like if you step within their 6 foot bounds.
With people around the country getting all of a sudden locked up for being in COVID, it was like that one state that gave the governor permission to, or the governor decided to say, if you see anyone that's sick, you can actually lock them up. It's just so much gray area. It's really gone above and beyond the law now. It is a medical march toward medical prison planet.
Wasn't it Wasn't it de Blasio was telling you need to snitch on people who are breaking the 6 foot rule? You need to snitch your neighbors, send the pictures into this.
See something, say something.
Yeah, except
that kind of nonsense.
Kind of blew up in his face though, because everyone's sending
their genitalia.
Yes, and this is what you should do, by the way.
All right, hey, thanks for the call.
Yeah, when all the while nobody, thanks guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for the call. I don't imagine things are going to get better anytime soon. There is this report here from Newsweek about when states, based on some kind of data they pull together, can expect to actually reopen. Vermont is one of the earliest. None of them are very soon. Vermont's certainly the earliest, and why won't it let me make that bigger?
I thought Georgia was going to be opening this Friday or something.
Opening. I'd like to see the details because remember, we see what Texas is going to do to reopen.
Right.
So I'm sure it's going to be all kinds. They're not just going to let people go back to normal because it's statism. It's control. They don't just take more control and then let it go back. Even though they should for good to have a nice economy where they can, go out and buy things because the price of oil apparently, or oil futures, I'm not exactly sure what exact price it was, but some really important oil price went below zero yesterday.
Yeah, which meant that the oil companies would pay other companies to take oil from them.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Never happened before in the history of recorded oil prices, from what I understand.
I believe it. I can't imagine what sort of insanity has to happen for that scenario to come about.
Well, my understanding is that because people aren't driving, for the most part, there are still some people driving, but not very many. Because people aren't driving, demand has gone down, so the price of oil has plummeted, right? That's why we see less than $2 a gallon oil here. In Minnesota a couple weeks ago, it was below 80 cents in some places per gallon. Yeah. So the price has been going down. Normally, when the price of oil goes down, when people are normal and driving, they'll drive more because gas is cheap, right? So doesn't matter how much you drive. But
I wonder if that's why it hasn't dropped as much in New Hampshire as it has in other states.
Because people are driving a little more here? That could be. But anyway, so since people aren't driving that much, the price goes down. They don't respond by driving more because they're still not driving, so the price goes down some more. And the problem is what they've said is that the way the oil companies or the taps in the ground work, once you tap into that oil, it just keeps on coming, right? So you can't shut it off.
They're basically looking for people to store their oil.
So they got all this oil coming out. They don't want to close the lid on this thing because I don't know how difficult that is or costly or whatever, but they haven't yet. And they can't or something, or maybe it's really expensive down the line. So they just keep on pumping out all this oil that they can't do anything with, and it's gotten to the point where they're running out of places to put it. And so that's why they're like, please take this from me. We'll pay you to take this oil and put it somewhere. It's crazy. They're supposedly shutting down some of the oil companies or whatever. They're supposedly shutting down the production in certain areas, but that won't happen until May. So it takes time to do these things. So we may end up seeing oil shortages as a result of this eventually. I mean, who knows how this is going to end up panning out?
Yeah, because once these lockdowns end, everybody and their entire family is going to be on the road, going to restaurants, going to bars, going everywhere. It's going to be a terrible way.
I'm not so sure about that.
Not right away. They're not going to have any money. How are you going to go to a restaurant if you've just blown all your savings on what bills you still had to pay during the interim?
And according to whatever data Newsweek was getting their data from, some of these go up to June the 29th before these states can reopen based on the reported cases. May 11th for New Hampshire, one of the earliest ones. May the 4th for Vermont. I was hoping this was going to end on April 7th when they initially said, hey, we're going to lock down until this date, and then we're going to let you do your thing. But no, we're now, a month into this? With at least another month ahead of us, judging by what they're saying. And even then, when they reopen, what is it really going to be?
7 states now, according to CNN, have requirements that you wear masks in public.
We have to get into that. We're going to get into that when we get back. 855-450-3733. What do you think about the coronavirus? How would you reopen the economy? That's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
This is a Corona Crisis Self-Reliance Alert. If you're worried about the power grid in the current crisis and want to generate your own supply of off-the-grid electrical power, just in case, pay close attention. Here's why. A limited supply of solar backup generators will be available again in the next 2 weeks. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving electrical backup power when you get off the grid. And unlike gas generators, these solar generators run quietly, emit no fumes, and produce an endless supply of free electricity from the sun. Dangerous weather, social unrest, or overloaded grids this summer will not be a problem if you go to mysolarbackup.com and get your solar backup generator. We regret that supplies are limited and only available on a first-come, first-served basis. Check availability at mysolarbackup.com. Never suffer painful power outages again. Go to mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com.
Houseflies defecate every 4 to 5 minutes, spreading diseases and germs. Protect your food and your health with Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic, no batteries required. Only $39.95. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter. Get your Bug Assault today.
Free Talk Live.
I'm sure I can speak for many of thousands. I don't fear illegals. I don't want them here and their filth that they bring with and the disease that they bring with.
All the people who work in the stores and the markets and the restaurants are overwhelmingly Hispanic, and they seem very clean and be doing a fine job here, and I've never heard anything about problems with disease.
For you to defend the illegal immigrants, and I'm not sure, as I said earlier, which host at what time is very condescending.
Madam, I will defend anybody that is peaceful and looking for a better life for themselves. We already pointed out.
I don't defend them. I wish that people like you.
You say that Mexicans are filthy, and you call me condescending, lady? You say they're disease-ridden and filthy, and I'm condescending?
And they are. And
You're
I do live
outrageous.
around
Get her
them.
out of
I
here.
did
Thank
live-
you for the call. She's had all her rope. She's hung herself.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Conan.
And we've got Mark on the lines. Mark, how's it going out there?
Well, I found an article today that I wanted to share with you guys. I don't know if you've saw it. I put it in the show prep. It says that here from...
I've officially muted the show prep room.
Okay. Studyfinds.org. Rate of coronavirus infections in Los Angeles up to 55 times higher than confirmed cases. And that got me to thinking. So I expected this sort of thing to come along, that a lot of people had coronavirus that, weren't showing symptoms or didn't show much of a symptom, and they never got really tested, and they're not part of the numbers that, the confirmed cases numbers. And what basically this does is sort of officially give every side the opportunity to claim victory in this whole case, right? So, the Republicans can say, see, we told you it wasn't worth the trouble. And, it's just like the flu. And apparently the death rate is going to be something just like the flu.
According to the government numbers.
Well, no, I think it's probably the government number is going to claim that it's significantly higher, and that it probably will. If it's going to be anything, it's going to be lower.
Well,
The reality is it's lower, but the numbers are that it's about the flu, from what I understand.
Yeah,
Well,
aren't
the
there
numbers
also
are
reports
so-
that they're just saying that anyone who dies in a hospital with COVID-like symptoms has died of COVID?
Wouldn't surprise me.
I've seen the reports of that. I just don't know if it's true.
Numbers are so preliminary right now, and people are scrambling for them. Of course, people want numbers. They want to know what's going on. They're being told they can't leave their houses, or they're terrified, or whatever the case may be. But so, I mean, of course, there's a demand for numbers, but these numbers aren't going to be any good for a year, for a year at least. I mean,
until we're all locked down dealing with 2021 Corona.
And so what this sort of brought up for me is on one hand, like I said, it was going to say that the Democrats are going to claim victory because if we save just one life, then, the total scuttling of the entire economy is worth it. But
yeah, but they're going to kill a lot more lives than one.
Said?
They're going to take a lot more lives than just one.
There's a guy up on a bridge in Arkansas right now, apparently, threatening to jump off.
Well, there you go. But like I said, every side gets to claim victory, and that includes you, right? Like you get to claim victory because that's kind of how this is all going to go. And the point I'd like to make is that I want people to think about the
I'm
question.
not going to claim victory because freedom is lost.
Victory in so much as you believe you're correct in everything that you've said, right?
Well, I don't know what the truth is. All I know is I'm not going to change my life for all this crap.
Well, we will never be able to know what could have happened. I mean, that's always going to be speculation. Everyone on every side of this can always say, well, it would have been worse if you hadn't listened to me.
Right. If we hadn't quarantined, it would have been disastrous. The 2 million they were toting from the first a month ago.
Ours is just a speculative, though.
Yeah. Well, and so is theirs. But it's like we have these numbers and we did things. We did A, we did B, we did C. And everyone, like Mark is saying, everyone's going to continue to defend their argument till the end, till 2030 when we're dealing with the
difference
2030 Rona.
They forced everybody to do things their way, and we weren't given a choice. Because we would give people a choice.
That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Is that there's you can look at this from a couple of different ways, right? Like, A, did the government have the right to do this? Because
no, they're just people.
Right. If the death toll was 50%, they still didn't have the right to do it.
Agreed.
And then you would have the question as to whether or not the government had the reason to do it. And you have to figure out in your own mind, as the person here, what percentage of the population dying, and I would presume that we're talking about the most vulnerable of the population dying, and that's probably true with every infectious disease out there, but what percentage of the population dying is worth shutting down the economy for? Because there are consequences to this. If you're saying it's 10% of the population that could have died, we know that, I mean, there's an answer to the question. Then maybe there's a good enough reason if it's going to be 10% or 50% or...
See, I can't even think about it in those terms, Mark. To me, the question isn't how many people have to die before you give up your freedoms, because that's essentially the question you're asking. My answer is just one, me. Because that option isn't on the table.
Well, their reason is
I don't care
not
if everyone dies.
10% or 20%. Their reason is we want more power, and we're going to use this excuse because we used 9/11 as an excuse before, and now here's a new excuse that's even better. As Donald Trump said in his recent tweet last night, this was right after the show ended yesterday evening. Let me pull up this tweet because it's absolutely ridiculous.
He says, the politicians, Ian, are all about we want more power.
That's what it is.
Whereas the people who are in bed with all this, they're all about we want more security.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so you have a winning combination where you have shepherds leading the sheep astray, and they're both loving it.
The people get the government they deserve. Unfortunately, we're here too, and we're not getting what we deserve. But here's what Trump said: in light of the attack from the invisible enemy, with capital I, capital E, so it's a pronoun.
We need some kind of horror movie sound effect to play every time you say invisible enemy.
As well as the need to protect the jobs of our great American citizens, I will be signing an executive order to temporarily suspend immigration into the United States. Now, of course, there's two issues here, and the thing that's going to get the most attention is, my God, Trump's going to ban immigration, which I'm against. I'm in favor of immigration, but let's put that aside. To me, the real interesting thing in this tweet is him calling COVID-19 the, quote, invisible enemy, because it's right along with the whole terrorism, war on terrorism. Remember? Like,
well, they've been saying the entire time that fighting COVID is like fighting a war.
That's right. They've been preparing people with that sort of warlike mentality.
Even he referred to Walmart workers as being on the front lines.
Yeah.
And essential warriors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So this whole idea of the invisible enemy is very similar to the war on terror. Remember when the war on terror started, we were talking at that time about how, well, terrorism is this sort of nebulous concept. How do you have a war on a concept? How do you have a war on a thing that you can't count? You don't know how many troops there are. You don't know. This is not a war in the traditional sense. It's a thing that can go on forever, right? Because terrorism can go on forever. And so the Department of Homeland Security and all this police state and the TSA and all these things came out. And now you have the same thing happening again with this war against this invisible enemy. And now the difference is, though, with the war on terror, it was all them Muslims, them brown people. It was easy to figure out who the terrorists were, right?
Well, now we're the terrorists because we're disregarding the government's suggestions.
That's true, too. So anybody like us who's helping the invisible enemy becomes an enemy of the state.
We're aiding and abetting the enemy.
The invisible enemy.
This is crazy stuff. And like you were saying, Conan, to the lefties, Trump hasn't gone far enough.
Yep.
This is madness coming from Trump, but they're saying something.
Now, what do the lefties have to say about this immigration ban?
Oh, they're going to go after the fact that it's an immigration ban, and
wait, but they've been talking about shutting everything down. So how can they? I
mean, that's classic for Trump, the puppet master. Here, you argue about the immigration thing, while I escalate a new war on terror against a disease.
But I mean, they have been preaching against. They are preaching for quarantine, but preaching. For quarantine and also for open borders. So now they're kind of stuck in between a hard place. Where do they go from here?
I knew people who wanted the borders between Vermont and New Hampshire closed.
Can Orange Man still be bad after this tweet?
Oh, he will be. What were you saying, Mark?
All I want to say is that this isn't the global pandemic.
No.
This is the training for the global pandemic. And so everybody needs to decide for themselves. They need to think about this because we never thought about this before, or mostly people didn't. And so the question I want the listeners to ask is, at what point, what percentage of the population needs to die for you to give up your essential freedoms? And
100%.
I'm gonna go straight Darwin with this one. 100%.
I'm with you guys. I'd rather kill myself than live in this hellish.
I'm not surprised that you guys
hellscape.
had that question. But there's
what is your answer then, Mark?
Out there listening.
Well, Mark's
What's
already
that?
wearing a damn mask, so it can't be that. It can't be 100%.
I don't think that the government ever has the right to do what they do. I do, however, think that they might have a reason at, 10% of the population dying or something like that. Now, again, they don't have the right, but they do have the ability. And I've said all along, that if there's going to be one job that the state has, it's to protect against a global pandemic. And the important thing that we need to understand—
I don't think that was in the Constitution.
I don't think the state is capable of doing that.
So much for walking over me. They're going to fail every single time. We've seen that.
Okay, so you're not calling for that then?
I'm not calling for anything. When's the last time I did that? I'm just trying to get people to think.
That's a good idea.
But you would
I don't
prefer...
think saying 100% gets them to think.
But the state, if there is going to be one, it should exist to protect against a global pandemic, you said?
Correct.
Seems like a mixed message to me.
Yeah. Anyway, Mark, thank you for the call. This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733, 855-450-FREE as in Free Talk Live.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,694, silver at $14.93, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,878. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, the Small Business Association exposes private information of 8,000 small businesses in an accidental website leak. That's according to a report from Activist Post. CNBC on Tuesday reported that the private and personally identifiable information of as many as 8,000 small business loan applicants may have been leaked during the chaotic rollout of the Federal Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP. CNBC's Kate Rogers said the issues arose on the SBA side via the EIDL application process. The nearly 8,000 businesses impacted by the leak have been notified per the SBA. The impacted portion of the site was immediately disabled. The leak was purportedly a problem with the website, meaning it was very likely self-inflicted. Not exactly a vote of confidence in the federal government's ability to manage the task of handing out hundreds of billions of dollars of loans to every beauty salon, restaurant, and pro shop in the country. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. More alleged abuses by Border Patrol agents are emerging following a Guatemalan mother's ordeal. In a complaint filed with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Administration, a Guatemalan woman was forced to give birth while standing and fully clothed as she was being detained at the Chula Vista Border Patrol station near San Diego. The Free Thought Project reports the woman complained of pain and was clearly pregnant, but her cries for help apparently fell on deaf ears. Her husband heard a baby's cries coming from the mother's clothing. He pulled down her pants to reveal the baby had already been born. The husband and her 2 other children looked on. Following the birth, the ACLU, along with Jewish Family Services of San Diego, filed an official complaint. The documentation was accompanied by a U.S. congressional letter signed by 12 congresspeople demanding HSA open an investigation into the woman's allegations. While the U.S. economy has faced a catastrophic shakeup due to the coronavirus pandemic, many Americans still proceeded to celebrate April 20th also known as 420, the unofficial holiday for recreational cannabis users. The Mind Unleashed reports that while marijuana aficionados are enjoying their online smoking sessions and live stream concerts, executives in the legal cannabis market are faced with both the shockwaves created by the economic downturn and hopes that the crisis could clear the way for the federal legalization of the plant. Legal marijuana has not been unaffected by the crisis. While demand for the plant skyrocketed following stay-at-home orders and quarantine rules put in places across the United States, consumers faced with unemployment or lost job hours are reducing their spending or turning to the black market due to taxes and regulations. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A new report released this week has found that nearly 3/4 of sleepaway campers' parents are currently using their children's time away from home to take the first steps towards filing for divorce.
With 46% of campers' moms currently staying with their sisters while they try to figure it out, and 38% of campers' dads sleeping on the living room couch and staring at the ceiling for hours before falling asleep.
Most campers are, at this precise moment, wholly unaware that their fathers are looking for temporary sublets and are experiencing a level of carefree, joyful buoyancy that experts say they will never feel again.
The majority of campers currently have, on average, 16 days until their lives come crashing down around them, at which point their parents will pick them up from camp, drive them to a restaurant, and then break the news that while they'll always be a family, they won't be living together anymore.
I love camp this year. It's so much fun. Mom sent me so many care packages. Dad even sent one. It's awesome.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Conan.
So I'm not a fan of the masks that
Me neither.
a lot of people are wearing, and evidently some states are mandating them to be required when visiting essential businesses or using public transportation. Coming to us from CNN, all of the following orders from governors come with the same guidance. Masks are no substitute.
Guidance.
Yeah.
It's not guidance, it's mandates.
Well, masks are no substitute for social distancing.
Mr. Freeman, I am asking you to step out of the car.
Yeah, right. With your hand on your gun, officer.
Maintaining at least 6 feet of distance from other people and staying home. But they're better than nothing, and in these states, you can't work or enter a business without them. There are a few exceptions, although people who can't wear masks for medical reasons are exempt. Now, I plan to claim religious exemption because at my other job, they just became mandatory. And I have...
Amazing.
I have no intention of wearing one. I have, in fact...
You work at a corporate job, by the way.
Well, it's sort of.
I mean, it's a franchise, but it's a big company.
Yeah. The rules come from above, right? And we're just supposed to obey them. I have worn one on occasion there because, I'm a manager, so I have to set a good example for people and all of that. But I hate it. I hate everything about it. And I can't, because it doesn't help being claustrophobic. But have you ever worn one of these things for an extended period of time? It's absolutely awful. It's like having a dog just breathing into your face constantly.
Yeah. Well, there's an article I saw today about people that have glasses who, of course, are breathing up their glasses, right? Like the vapor is making it so they can't see. Like, what do?
I had a short stint at one of these businesses here in Keene putting together medical equipment. And everybody in the entire establishment, it's called Smith's Medical,
Yep.
The entire establishment has to basically robe up. And if you have a beard, you have to wear a beard mask.
Huh.
You got to wear glasses. You got to wear, covers over your head.
What is a beard
gloves.
mask?
If you want to have a beard,
Uh-huh.
you've got to have this basically a veil over your face, over your mouth, to prevent little beard hairs from getting in places. I did that for 3 months.
Well, beards are pretty gross.
I am not.
I mean,
I'm
if you're
not.
going to
I'm
have
not a
germs, it's
fan.
going to be in the beard.
But you chose to work at that job, and so that was your
Yeah,
opt-in in that
put-
particular case.
Exactly. I put my 3 months and decided it wasn't for me.
By the way, you skipped by the part of this article where they actually link to a CNN. So the story's from CNN, but they link to an article all about how to make your own face mask, and they go through all the steps. You can make your own mask at home.
Why would anyone want to?
Well, because they have to.
Well, you might want.
Well, you don't have to.
Well, you could go out, and then they might arrest you.
For not wearing a mask.
Well, didn't they raid parties in New York over the weekend or yesterday for
They did, and they
smoking
arrest people
pot?
out there paddleboarding and stuff.
Yeah.
They
Well, then they're
used
gonna
a
arrest you
helicopter.
for not wearing a mask.
It's insane. In Connecticut, the state's mask requirement applies to any residents who are in a public place over the age of 2 and can't maintain at least 6 feet of distance from other people.
And can't maintain. So I mean, if you can maintain 6 feet, you can take your mask off.
I'm not looking at the
That's a
actual
loophole.
Well,
governor's order.
I'm
but-
kind of concerned about this. I am also in a position where I think this mandate's going to come down, and they are going to insist that I wear this silly thing, and I'm gonna be like, no,
Nope.
and I'm gonna have to walk.
Well, or
You
find
can claim it a
if
religious
you have a religion,
exemption.
you could have a religious exemption.
Is that an option, Aria?
Absolutely.
In New Hampshire? All right. Well, I'll go that route and see what happens.
That's not a battle they're going to want to
It
fight.
certainly would be an option with a federal, with the post office. I mean, I'd be shocked if that wasn't an option.
Wait. Well, hold on. You are religious. I'm not. So what religion do I claim?
You better find
Spaghetti
one.
monster?
The Reformed Church of Satan is perfect
But I'm
for
not.
you.
I'm not that.
Well, you ought to find a religion then if you want to keep your
Oh,
job.
man, the religion of smooth-faced baby faces. I don't know. Something crazy. I'll think of something.
Time to find the creator.
Chat room, help me out. I need a new religion.
Well, the Reformed Church of Satan doesn't require you to believe in the existence of a deity, if that helps.
I'll look into it. But
A religion can be about the nature of the universe,
Right.
more so than a deity.
Simulation theory?
Well,
That
Buddhism
could
has
be.
no deities.
Ancient aliens?
She's right. Buddhism doesn't have a deity. It's true.
So the same rules apply to people who use public transportation, taxis, or rideshare services. Now, I use Uber quite a lot to get back to my car after going out drinking, and it always flashes up that I'm supposed to sit in the back seat now. And I never do because I always have the same Uber driver, and he doesn't care any more than I do.
Right.
But it's always there. Please be sure to sit in the back seat of the car and wear gloves and a face
COVID-19.
mask. And I'm like, how about not?
Do they even let you talk to them anymore? Please don't talk in my car. I don't want it to spread of any spittle getting on the windows or anything.
You know what? If that was what it came to, if I were like a regular Uber rider and I was in a place where they were different, because we're in a small town, so that's why you get the same one over and over.
Sure.
But if I was in a place like that and I rode often enough and I wasn't in a huge hurry or whatever, I'd be like, if they tried to tell me that they wanted me to do all kind of COVID things to get in their car, I'd be like, nope, I'll just take another. Good.
Yep.
I don't want your ride.
That's exactly how I would deal with it. Of course, here we don't have the option, but here it's Keene, New Hampshire, and they're not likely to really care anyway. So the state's Department of Economic and Community Development released mask guidelines for essential workers. Employees at essential businesses must wear masks or material that covers their nose and mouths at all time while at work. Employers must provide masks or the materials to make them, because it's not like masks are hard to come by right now, right? All customers under the age of 2 must wear them too. So you have to put a mask on your 6-month-old infant when you carry them into Walmart with you.
Ridiculous.
But however, in Connecticut, people who refuse to wear masks aren't required to provide proof that they're medically exempt. So there is that slight little
So there's some
saving
loopholes
grace.
here. If you want to exploit those loopholes, you probably can. But still, it's going to be ugly because people are also doing social ostracism on this stuff. The so-called quarantine shaming.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're going to have to deal with the guy at the door greeter. And he's going to be like, all right, religious exemption, whatever. But then when you get in there and you're walking by everybody and they're all giving you the
looking
stink
daggers
eye,
at you.
They're like, who do you think you are?
I've
You're
had people
endangering
giving
all
me
of
that
us.
look my entire life.
It's going
it's
to
not
be
going to stop tomorrow.
It's going to be tenfold. You're going to be getting it from everyone, and but you're at least
Been
now
there.
you're going to know what it's for.
They can stare all they want, and they can hate all they want. In Hawaii, customers at essential businesses are required to wear cloth face coverings. Employees who interact with customers or goods must wear them too. Those measures are in addition to keeping 6 feet of distance and limiting the number of customers allowed in an establishment. Anyone who violates these rules could face a fine up to $5,000 or up to a year in prison. Up to a freaking year.
Where they're also going to want you to wear a mask while you're in prison.
I can't imagine. That's the world we live in now, where the state of Hawaii, the governor has created a new law out of nothing, saying that if you don't wear a mask, you could go to prison for up to an entire year. In Maryland,
you'll leave the big prison and go into the small prison.
Oh, I like the big plantation.
That took me a moment. Sorry. In Maryland, commuters and employees must wear face masks while using Maryland public transit. Employees and customers over age 9 must wear face coverings inside essential businesses, although adults accompanying young children should make an effort to get them to wear a mask if they're in an essential business.
All right, we got to get all the kids afraid, too, because it's important to have your children be terrified.
Oh, yeah. This worked out so well with global warming and Greta Thunberg, right?
Yeah, and now that they're
just
no
traumatize
longer,
them.
Now long they're because they're no longer in public indoctrination camps, kid prison. Where are they going to get their indoctrination? Where are they going to get their new walking orders?
Some online classes or whatever crap, from what I understand.
Yeah, but kids are smart, and what they've started doing, what some of them have started doing is like recording a video of themselves like blinking and breathing and nodding, and putting that on a loop and putting their phone there and walking away. And
that's awesome.
The teachers are dealing with like 15, 20, 30 students. They're not watching each one of these students to make sure they're not being fed a looping video. It's brilliant.
Good stuff.
I wish I could have done that during school.
It's really sharp.
855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
My dog, Mojo, was half beagle and half coonhound. He ate everything in sight. He would swallow things whole, including a chicken carcass, a bird nest with a bird in it, and assorted stones and sticks. We had to take him to the veterinary emergency room. After surgery, Mojo had skin issues. He was constantly itching and scratching, chewing on his feet, and chewing the hair right off of his legs, being irritated, lethargic, and just not the same dog.
DINOVITE.com.
When we put him on the Dinovite, he took right to it. All of these symptoms disappeared.
Dinovite is nutrition.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Something that he actually likes to eat. You need to put him on Dinovite.
Dinovite for life.
If you love your dog, you don't just want him healthy, you want him to be happy.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Find out about your common law rights. Move about the land freely in your personal conveyance or on foot. Know what to say if stopped by a man or woman in a costume, and proceed safely on your way. Also, find out how to lawfully keep all the money you make free of tax. Protect your liberty and freedoms in a peaceful and lawful way by adding William Stenson 60 at yahoo.com to your Skype contacts. And let's talk free on Skype. That's William Stenson 60 at yahoo.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi,
My name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Conan.
And the next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tier masternodes that allows anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new wallet launches, because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in more than 200 countries, including the United States. So check them out, divvyproject.org. That's DIVI project.org. Now, let's go to the phones. We've got AC calling from, I actually didn't get the location. AC, you're on Free Talk Live.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
What's on your mind?
Okay. So you guys have been talking about the Corona stuff as always, because what else is there to talk about, I guess, sometimes. But, and of course, the mask and stuff. You know what's really interesting about the story I'm about to tell is, you know how the government tells us we're the ones that have to wear the face masks and wear the gloves and do all the social distancing, but yet they don't seem to do any of that themselves?
Oh, yeah. I love that image of them signing that social distancing deal, and there's like 12 people crowded around each other. I mean, that's classic.
I mean,
government.
they're almost sitting in each other's laps. They're so close to each other, and not a mask in sight. No gloves, no nothing. No Lysol. Just them signing away your freedoms for a little bit of security.
And the fact is they've been breaking up, you know, parties and stuff like that, and even funerals and weddings.
Yep.
And but hey, if you work for the state, it's okay if you have a funeral, because that's what happened today in my fair town.
Oh.
There was a funeral for a cop that died.
Of course.
And let me tell you this, and let me tell you, the things I saw just made my libertarian, voluntarist, anarchist bones just cringe with like it's that kind of cringe you get when you hear nails on a chalkboard, like, ooh. But it's like,
so what kind of things did you see?
Yeah, tell us examples.
Like you know, a cop dies, and you know, and there's just all these people on both sides of the street downtown waving flags and stuff for this funeral. You know, as there's a bunch of cop cars and driving by them all with the hearse and all that stuff. People are, you know, just, you know, say, yeah, it's awesome, he died, a hero. And, you know, there's even like 2 fire trucks blocked off a road so they could
Well, I
wave
would
a
say the
huge
most heroic
giant-
thing he probably did was die.
That's a good one. And the worst part of it all is what I was able to find out about this cop. Turns out, that's what kind of cop he was.
He was a wife beater. He was a child. He was a child molester. He was a drunk.
We're just guessing based on the odds here.
Basing on the stats that prove that all these bad apples they say don't exist. Not so much. A lot of people, including politicians, a lot of these individuals are of a certain frame of mind, and that is why they go into these types of positions, because it's where they get their release, their power release, is where they get to take it out on the people around them, either because they were bullies in high school or because they were in fact bullied themselves, and now it's time to turn it all around and get payback.
So were we correct? AC, was that the type of cop this guy was?
No, but not really. He might have been. I don't know. I don't like to speculate on that part. But personally, the kind of cop he was, at least what I heard from my friend who was talking, who asked someone about this, apparently he was a narcotics officer.
A real hero. Stopping people from doing things with their own body that they want to do and putting them in prison.
And there's people just standing on the sidewalks, waiting for the hearse to go by, waving flags like, yay! And I'm like,
hold on, how many people were out and about for this parade?
Good question.
There were tons of people.
During the coronavirus, they were having a parade?
It sounded like a parade.
Yeah. There were some people wearing masks and stuff, but there was just like a bunch of people waving flags and and it's like, I'm like, why don't you guys just fillet the state all the way?
Well, all the nationalism protects you from the virus. See, the more flags you wave, the harder you wave the flags, and the more publicly, it just keeps the virus away.
It boosts your immune system. It's good for you.
It's good to get out sunlight. Actually, as Ron Paul said in his article a few weeks ago, this is actually a really bad idea. If you want to protect people and keep them healthy, you don't keep them in their homes.
Yeah, fresh air.
Yeah.
Vitamin D. By the way, the whole argument that UV is going to kill the Rona, you need a lot of UV to do that. And I don't think if you stood in the sun that long, you'd probably walk away with more cancer than more Rona killing. But vitamin D, good to go. But
thank you so much for the call.
And the fresh air is just, you just can't beat it. So, I mean, this whole quarantining.
But if you go outside, you might get the virus. Even if you just are sitting out on your back porch, you can't do that.
That's what they said.
That's what who said?
The officials.
The officials can't make up their minds.
They can't make up their minds whether we should be wearing masks or not. It's like, it's good, it's bad. It's good, it's bad. We don't really know.
Well, they wanted to buy up all of the good masks, all of the N95 rated masks and all of that before they said, oh, yeah, by the way, you should be wearing masks.
Yeah.
So that's what all of that was about, I think. Because now, of course, they're saying, oh, yeah, these masks are a great idea. And they're, in fact, mandatory in several
7
places.
states.
In New Jersey, the first state to introduce such a mandate.
Of course.
New Jersey requires that customers and employees wear face coverings at essential businesses and construction sites. That one just seems thrown in there, and that's peculiar. Businesses must provide them to employees and deny entry to any customers who refuse to wear them, although the customer can still pick up their food or medicine by alternate contact-free means. So there are no exemptions in New Jersey. Employees and commuters and private carriers must wear face coverings while on trains, buses, and light rails. If they refuse to wear them, they may be denied entry. So that's not surprising. New Jersey is one of the more restrictive states out there. So, of course, their face mask requirement is going to be, among the most restrictive.
Yeah, it would be very difficult to deal with this as somebody who loves freedom, because ultimately it's private property and these people can make whatever rules they want to. But they're not making the rules they necessarily want to. They may have done this without a mandate, right? Like a store could say, all customers got to have a mask on. We'll even give you the free mask at the front door or whatever, right? Like they could do that if that's what they wanted to do. And then I could choose to not shop there. But now it's a mandate on every store, but it's still using these sort of corporations to enforce the government's demands, right? So these government goons come up with these ideas, they lay them down from on high, and then they leave it to local businesses or corporate businesses or whatever to crack the whip on people. So they don't get to let you opt out. But I wonder, because I don't like the idea of stopping going shopping, but it may come to that where I'll have to have Instacart go do my shopping for me because I just don't want to deal with this crap anymore. But I like going out and going shopping. I wonder if does it have to be the cloth mask, or can I go ahead and put a piece of tape over a V mask and just walk around, put the tape over the mouth so it's covered up, right? Can I do that?
That's a good idea.
mask.
That's a good idea, actually.
It sounds like an interesting experiment that should be undertaken, but we're not in one of these states.
Not yet.
Thank goodness.
Not yet.
We might be. 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it. Wait on the counter. Now.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you scared me.
What am I being detained for? You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Conan.
And we've been talking about, just the insanity surrounding COVID-19 and the response to it from people all over the political sphere.
And like I was just saying during the break, people who know better, people who know the stats, the history, the things that, corporations and government do to their people throughout history. You were always finding out something 30 years later that this something was orchestrated
What about the libertarians out there?
Exactly. That's where I was going. They know better.
I mean, they
know
should have
better.
known the state was always going to ally itself with experts, with the medical establishment. That was inevitable. And now it's happening. They're like, oh, no, we have to listen to the medical experts.
What makes them think that there aren't authoritarian doctors?
That's an excellent question.
Or individuals like Dr. Fauci, this nation's doctor. Look at all the patents he owns on HIV-type vaccines and whatnot and drugs. You don't think that he has his finger in the money bowl, that he's looking to really make a lot of progress from all of this hype?
Oh, of course he is. But let's go to the phones. We got Will calling from Washington. Will, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, am I coming through all right?
Yep. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have seen this video on YouTube. It's supposedly a hot mic from Trump's briefing or whatever in the White House. And dude walks in and he says, hey, man, you can take that mask off. It turns out that this new report here, it's down to like 0.1 or 0.3%. The case fatality rate's really low. And he says, oh, yeah, well, that's reassuring. Well, everybody here has already been vaccinated anyway.
Yeah, I like that one. What does that mean? What does everyone here has already been vaccinated against? What? They don't have a vaccine for COVID-19, SARS-CoV-19 yet.
Maybe antibody. Because I guess you can do a blood transfusion with somebody who's got the antibodies already and put the antibodies in you, and then you're more immune to it or something like that. But I mean, I've also heard that they were looking at this biosafety level 4 lab in Wuhan back in 2018, and there was a couple of cables sent to the Department of Defense or something about the practices there in Wuhan being less than adequate, I guess.
Well, to answer your question first, Ian and I have seen the video. I don't know about Conan. Conan has seen it as well.
I question its veracity.
I've seen two different versions of it, and I saw one that was blown up, so you can actually see the faces really close. And I heard people talking. I heard people looking at each other, but it didn't look like they were actually talking.
They got a mask on, so how the hell would you know?
How can you tell? I'm thinking I'm questioning that one.
But look, I question the veracity of the video as well, but I don't think that really matters because ultimately it does make some interesting points like, hey, this isn't really something to be concerned with. Look at the state's own numbers. The state's own numbers show this thing's not really that much more deadly or thereabouts as deadly as the flu. And we all know the state's pumping up the numbers, so it's probably not even near as bad as what they want you to believe. So I think it makes good points. And more importantly, it's being taken down by YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, we had this happen right before the show. Well, Ian did. He sent it to someone. And when they went to open the link to the YouTube video that he had just sent them,
30 seconds later,
it had already been pulled down by YouTube.
Yeah, I've been trying to send it to all my friends. And I got one more thing to say about the face masks and stuff. Yeah, I don't like wearing an N95 very much. I don't like wearing like the hospital grade face mask or like a full face respirator or anything like that. But I got a Condor multicam face and neck wrap. It's a fleece and pretty thin kind of polyester material. And, man, I absolutely love it. No more facial recognition for me.
Awesome. Well, Will, thank you so much for the call. It sounds like a hassle of a thing to wear. Really.
Yeah, any kind of mask. But here, for all the mask producers out there, I'm thinking, Ian, you brought up a good point. Guy Fawkes, a straight up one that's actually, provides,
like I said, I'd have to put tape over the mouth.
Well, no, I'm thinking of an actual mask that is developed to be a protective mask, but it has the rest of the features. And that way, you act, as far as facial recognition is concerned. I mean,
you can make one of those with like super glue and a cloth mask. Just glue it on the inside of the Guy Fawkes mask.
Oh, but I'm thinking that people could, the masks are going like crazy these days. So whoever's making masks out there,
don't you sell on eBay?
I'm a reseller. I don't make things.
Oh well,
but
maybe it's a good time to.
I need more immigrant children in my basement.
You can't get them now.
I know exactly.
Trump banned immigration.
With their nimble little fingers, they're the best for putting things together. I can need a couple more of them.
So liquor stores here in New England, what struck me most about that article about required masks was that, if I recall correctly, every single one of those was a New England state.
Oh, in that story, Pennsylvania's not New England.
Nah, not
and
really.
Neither is New York.
Okay.
Neither is Hawaii.
Oh yeah, and Hawaii definitely.
And neither is New
not.
Jersey. But it is Northeast.
Wait, New Jersey is you're just throwing them out, or they're not a New England state?
That's not New England.
I don't know where the boundaries of New England end and where they start.
Is it just Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine? Is that it?
No. Okay, so there's northern New England, which is Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. And then there's New England, which includes, I believe, northern New England. I'm not an expert at this, okay? Even though
I would
I've lived
assume
here
it would
for 14 years. It includes them and Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. So New York is not included as part of New England,
Gotcha.
as far as I understand.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
It is, because they're drastically
I
different
know,
cultures.
they're very different. Well, let me rephrase. The city of New York is very different. The countryside, you got a lot of normal people out there. The good old boys.
I'll put this story. We're not going to go through the whole list because it's all very, very similar, but I'll put it on our Telegram and Twitters and such.
Excellent. I'm also looking at this story from Pennsylvania, who doesn't seem to know, now that they've established that liquor stores are essential, and they've taken control of the liquor industry, much in the same way that they have it here in New Hampshire.
Well, that's old news, right? Like they've been in charge for a long time with the liquor industry. I don't think that just happened.
Yeah, but they're not equipped to deal with what's happening now.
Well, no.
In the way that a private business,
Even the private businesses aren't equipped to deal with this nonsense.
No, but they would figure it out a lot faster.
Yes, that's true. Yes, they would.
So
they are.
So coming to us from PennLive.com, the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board began allowing residents to call select stores and place orders for curbside pickup Monday, but most customers did not get any booze yet. That's because the way the program is set up, most customers will pick up their curbside orders several days after placing them. Jeez, that's so bad. Some customers, however, did get their orders on Monday. So you place an order for liquor or wine or whatever, and it'll be ready next week. Come pick it up Tuesday at 2 in the afternoon.
Make sure you plan your drinking real good.
Yeah, I guess if you have a problem, this is actually turning out to be pretty good for you.
Right.
You can cut back a little bit.
So the state released new details about the program Monday, including that each store will fill 50 to 100 of the first phone orders they receive. Oh, this is going to end so well. I can't wait to watch this play out. Residents can call from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. because they definitely have the staff to take 50 to 100 phone calls in a 4-hour period, or until capacity is reached, Monday through Saturday. The system is first come, first served. There are 176 stores across the state participating.
Sorry if you're at work at 9 a.m. Only 9 to 1.
So the initial maximum possible capacity across the state will be 17,600 orders per day, but that's only if every store takes 100 orders, which is unlikely. As it turned out, the PLCB filled about 6,500 orders on Monday for curbside pickup. That doesn't sound terrible. Maybe they just don't have a...
That's the whole state of Pennsylvania.
The whole state. It's a big old... Yeah.
Okay. I don't know much about Pennsylvania.
That's actually really bad.
They'll give you a number later in the story to compare it to.
Okay, as it turned out, even if stores reached maximum capacity in the coming days, it's less than 10% of the typical number of transactions.
Our liquor store right here in Keene probably does 6,500 transactions a day.
I think that's probably an exaggeration. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
This is a pandemic survival alert, and the most time-sensitive messages you will hear this year. You still have time to plant a 1-acre crisis garden and secure a supply of your own nutrient-dense food. But time is running out, and it's one deadline you don't want to miss. Who should plant a crisis garden? Individuals, families, churches, communities, anyone or any group that sees hard times ahead. Let's face it, even the mainline media is talking about food supply disruptions and the growing number of grocery store workers who are becoming sick. But there's more. Meat packing plants are closing, mile-long lines at food pantries, and more farmers now in financial trouble. The truth is, growing nutrient-dense vegetables this summer may be the single most important thing you do. Go to survivalseedbank.com and watch the new video to understand what we're really up against. Get free bonus seeds, special quarantine reports too. Don't wait, every minute counts. Go to survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com.
Dahibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on, so it naturally has antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-infection, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. But maybe more importantly, Dahibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea builds corpuscles in the blood, which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer happens to die in oxygen. The tea is great for healthy people and can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. Dahibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea is only $34.95 plus shipping. Order now at shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. That's shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. shopsupertea.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Conan.
So Pennsylvania has an alcohol problem, it would seem. Getting further into the story, there were 1.9 million attempts to buy from these liquor stores, but only 7,800 of these orders were fulfilled.
Hold on, this is for the new curbside pickup option.
Yes.
Just to be clear. Right, that's what's
Is
new.
that all they're offering? Is curbside pickup?
I think you can still go into the stores, right? Yeah, this is a new program.
Okay.
Okay, so they've never had this before. Now, because of COVID, they're like, we're innovating. Now you can have curbside pickup at your state-run liquor store. Only at select stores.
In
And
a few days.
Only from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And only a maximum of 50 to 100 orders per day. And we might get it to you in a few days.
That means more than 99.5% of customers were unable to place orders. 99.5%. The new details released Monday said pickups will be scheduled between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m., quote, within a few days of order placement. At pickup, customers will be required to present identification before the order is delivered. The state also clarified that orders only will be accepted by each participating store's published phone number. No orders will be accepted by email or voicemail. It seems like a better solution would be to allow people to just get alcohol delivered to their house. You can't do that here in New Hampshire. I was trying to get a friend a bottle of Jameson's inscribed for their birthday, and I could not get it delivered.
Yep. I think there's some wines you can ship.
Really?
But hard alcohol, no, that's not allowed, my friend.
I know that now.
And so that's a big part of the problem. Maybe we'll see a lessening of that regulation in response to this.
Well,
if we have to start mailing more, because they want people all liquored up. Because that's part
sure as hell do.
That's part of the coping mechanism dealing with this.
Well, you know that His Excellency, the governor here in New Hampshire, and that's what they actually refer to him as in
His
the
Excellency
orders.
King Sununu.
Yeah. Well, they leave out the king. But
I
they actually put His Excellency in the orders. He did make an order when he put the crackdown on those restaurants and the bars, saying you can't actually have people in to eat, that now you can only do takeout and you can only do delivery, curbside takeout and delivery. That's all they can do. He did change the rules of the Liquor Commission at that time, and it's still, I believe, in play, to where bars and restaurants can now deliver sealed containers. So if you got beers...
I thought they were allowed to do mixed drinks now as well.
I have not heard that. That may be true, but I haven't heard that. Because
I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, the previous rule was it has to be a sealed container, so it was only beers and wine.
Last year's sales, liquor sales in New Hampshire was $700 million. That's a big chunk. Sales, so I don't know how much of that there actually probably about 200
Now wait,
million.
is this just the liquor stores, or does that include bars?
That's just the liquor stores.
Okay. And those are all state-run here, by the way.
Well, the bars would certainly increase that number a fair bit.
Mm-hmm.
But even if it was legal now to get mixed drinks delivered to you and things like that, there are no bars open that are doing that, as far as I'm aware.
I mean, if it were legal, Thirsty Owl would do it. They're open. That's the local bar. For listeners that don't know, they take cryptocurrency there. I was just there today. I ordered breakfast.
People take this opportunity.
I was just thinking they are the only active bar in town right now.
No way.
Take this opportunity to learn to mix a drink. It learn something. Learn to change your tire, learn to garden, and learn to mix a good drink.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to know if they're all shut down. It'd be interesting to have you call around and see if it's true, like how many of these bars have shut down. I know Cobblestone's shut down.
Yeah, so has Lab.
Yep.
And there's still Panucci's and Kilkenny's and 21, but I don't think any of them even serve food.
So there are establishments that are open right now?
Yeah. Thirsty Owl is the only one I'm aware of.
And people...
You talk about specifically bars?
Yes.
Yeah.
And people frequent them? Are they full?
No, you can't.
You can't be full. I mean, there's no one allowed to go to them.
Wait.
They're open in that they are doing delivery and takeout.
So food and
beers.
Yeah, and beers now.
If you want to go home tonight, Conan, and if Thirsty Owl's still open, because they're going to close if it's dead, right? They're not going to stay open until 1 a.m. like they used to. If you want to order a 12-pack of Coronas delivered to your house, they'll bring them to you.
Well, my question is, if they're the only ones that are open, they should be doing really good business, unless
you would think,
unless there's a problem with money.
There is a problem with money, and that is that, and this is why in Manchester, New Hampshire, so. This is the big city in New Hampshire where there's 100,000 people.
100,000.
The main street, the main drag, it's not Main Street, it's called Elm Street there. And a lot of the businesses, the restaurants and such, are closed there. So there's like a Free Stater-owned place called Murphy's Tap Room. They closed weeks ago. It wasn't long before they shut down. Like, they were going to try to stay open to do takeout. They tried, and it just wasn't working out. There weren't enough orders coming in to make even a skeleton crew worthwhile at this place. So
That's what happened to Lab.
And I suspect the reason for it is because you're in a downtown environment in a city, and a lot of these people don't have a lot of disposable income. They're living paycheck to paycheck, and those are stopped now for a lot of them. So they're sure as hell not going to order takeout. They're going to actually have to cook their food and or go down to the food bank and grab some food from, waiting in line or whatever. Then the other sad story was the Free Stater-owned place, Murphy's Tap Room, had a location in Bedford. And so when they closed the Manchester location, they said the Bedford location will continue. Now, Bedford's like the soccer mom, suburbia, bedroom community for Manchester, right? So it's where the richer people live. And even they shut down. He's closed his business. He said he had to lay off his last 4 people last week. So it wasn't even working in Bedford. He thought it was gonna. Didn't work out.
So sad.
So people aren't spending money. I'm amazed any places are even still open now. But the truth is, I was in Little Zoe's, which is the local place that takes cryptocurrency that sells fancier pizzas. And I asked him how things were going.
They overcook their pizzas, though.
Well, I like them. But then again, I'm not hard to please. Anyway, so I asked him, how are things going? And he says things are great. They're really busy because all the other pizza places have closed down. Now, it's not true that all of them have closed down. There's I think a couple of the Greek places are still open, but who the hell wants that? So
there's 5 restaurants here in Keene that you can eat at the moment.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's not very many.
Wow.
Because at work,
There's
that's
gotta
what
be
we
more
do.
than
There are not. There's Jersey Mike's. They close at 8.
Okay.
So they're off the table.
But all the fast food
Are you
restaurants
talking
are
about
still
late
open.
night? You talking about later? Yeah, fast food's open.
Yeah, the McDonald's and the Wendy's and the Burger Kings, they're still open. I think that's where people are going.
I'm not eating McDonald's and Wendy's
I
and
know
Burger
because
King.
you're
I don't even consider that food,
I
man.
know you're a higher class individual.
The Indian food
talking
place
about,
is
I'm
open.
talking about the normals.
There's Indian, there's
Jamaican, still open.
Okay, yeah, I didn't count them.
Yeah.
For sure. There aren't many.
Okay.
Though.
It would be interesting to do an analysis of how many of these businesses, and sad to actually drive around and see how many of them are still open.
Yeah. Applebee's is still open. They're operating on a limited menu, though, so it's
and they've got
basically
huge
just
lettering
burgers.
in the windows, by the way, at Applebee's. There's huge letters that face, the windows that face the road.
Right.
Pickup available. So the places that are opening are really trying to let you know that they're still open.
Yeah. It's a shame.
It's really sad.
It's good for the places that are still open.
It's good if you want to learn how to cook. Take this opportunity.
You got time, yeah.
Yeah, take this coronavirus opportunity to learn how to make a drink, learn how to cook you some spaghetti.
And cook you some spaghetti while you still have it, because you're not likely to have it in a few months, it would seem.
Well,
Isn't
if this
pasta
keeps
hard to
up-
find anyway?
I don't
Isn't
know.
pasta sold out?
But that's one of for whatever reason, you would think potatoes, rice, those types of things are an American staple. But no, it turns out it's pasta. Pasta and toilet paper. Those are the first thing to go all the time.
So getting back to this story here, each store has its own unique inventory, certainly won't complicate matters at all, and will guide callers through the products available for purchase before finalizing each order and taking payment information by phone. So if a customer calls and wants to know what products they have available, that could be a very tedious phone call.
A long phone call. Oh yeah, I don't know. Do I want to get the cream tasting vodka, or do I don't know what I want to get. Well, figure it out and call back, lady. That's part of the problem here. Is these people don't know what they want. I mean, you've dealt with customers in a store before. They come in, they don't know what they want. It's going to be even worse on a phone.
Yep. Curbside pickup orders will be limited up to 6 bottles per order, and credit cards are the only accepted form of payment, according to the Liquor Control Board.
Oh yeah, because the Rona's on the dollar bills.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody who doesn't have banking services, the 7 to 17% or whatever, who are either underbanked or completely unbanked. You're just SOL.
Cashless society. That's where we're going.
Orders will also be limited to 1 order per caller per store per day, and all curbside pickup sales are final. All the more reason to use cryptocurrency, though. If your U.S. dollars are infected and you can't get into the banking system because, let's be honest, the banking system sucks, Cryptocurrency, totally touchless. 855-450-3733.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now's your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,694, silver at $14.93, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,878. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, the Small Business Association exposes private information of 8,000 small businesses in an accidental website leak. That's according to a report from Activist Post. CNBC on Tuesday reported that the private and personally identifiable information of as many as 8,000 small business loan applicants may have been leaked during the chaotic rollout of the Federal Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP. CNBC's Kate Rogers said the issues arose on the SBA side via the EIDL application process. The nearly 8,000 businesses impacted by the leak have been notified per the SBA. The impacted portion of the site was immediately disabled. The leak was purportedly a problem with the website, meaning it was very likely self-inflicted. Not exactly a vote of confidence in the federal government's ability to manage the task of handing out hundreds of billions of dollars of loans to every beauty salon, restaurant, and pro shop in the country. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. More alleged abuses by Border Patrol agents are emerging following a Guatemalan mother's ordeal. In a complaint filed with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Administration, a Guatemalan woman was forced to give birth while standing and fully clothed, as she was being detained at the Chula Vista Border Patrol Station near San Diego. The Free Thought Project reports the woman complained of pain and was clearly pregnant, but her cries for help apparently fell on deaf ears. Her husband heard a baby's cries coming from the mother's clothing. He pulled down her pants to reveal the baby had already been born. The husband and her 2 other children looked on. Following the birth, the ACLU, along with Jewish Family Services of San Diego, filed an official complaint. The documentation was accompanied by a U.S. congressional letter signed by 12 congresspeople demanding HSA open an investigation into the woman's allegations. While the U.S. economy has faced a catastrophic shakeup due to the coronavirus pandemic, many Americans still proceeded to celebrate April 20th, also known as 420, the unofficial holiday for recreational cannabis users. The Mind Unleashed reports that while marijuana aficionados are enjoying their online smoking sessions and live stream concerts, executives in the legal cannabis market are faced with both the shockwaves created by the economic downturn and hopes that the crisis could clear the way for the federal legalization of the plant. Legal marijuana has not been unaffected by the crisis. While demand for the plant skyrocketed following stay-at-home orders and quarantine rules put in places across the United States, consumers faced with unemployment or lost job hours are reducing their spending or turning to the black market due to taxes and regulations. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Everyone needs to get a justice shed. So you have a place to throw that little juvenile delinquent you caught loitering out on the street corner. This is not rocket science, people. I just call up my neighbors, Frank and Terry. We get out there with baseball bats, fishing nets, and we knock that suspect out. And we toss him in our justice shed. We just start dealing out some shovel beatings. That's democracy, people. That's the biggest benefit of the Justice Shed, people. You are in charge.
Our Justice Shed was all filled up, so we created this Justice Cage. It's just as good. These guys, I think we caught them shoplifting, and this is my daughter's boyfriend.
Look, if you don't have a yard big enough to place a Justice Shed in, go out and get yourself a Justice Barrel. I don't care. The important thing is to take control of your safety by any means necessary.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. Call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Conan.
And Conan, you've been watching some movies lately. We were talking about this earlier. You recently watched Alien vs. Predator, correct?
We were talking off the air about it.
And Predator 2. Yeah, Ian, he brought up one of his, a Predator game that he was impressed with a couple of weeks back.
It's called Predator Hunting Grounds. It is one of those video games where they call it, is it called asymmetric? I forget the word that they use, but basically means that you got a team of players versus one character that's super powerful.
That's Uber, yeah. And so, yeah, well, I'm not going to get that game unless it's like free.
It's not going to be free.
But you know what? And I think Aria was asking, what what's this Predator thing all about? And we were describing his equipment.
You've never seen Predator?
I've seen Predator.
Oh, okay.
Well, we had to remind her of the facts. So we're describing
okay.
And I'm like, well, Predator 1 was, of course, the best.
Of course.
And I've seen it seriously, I've seen it 30 times.
I can't remember how many times I've seen it. I had it on VHS, recorded off a television as a kid, and I don't know how many times I watched it that way. And then I finally saw it later, unedited, where you can see all the gore, and it's so different. The movie's so different when you watch it in the way it was meant to be seen.
I think I watched the TV version as a kid, so I may need to watch the actual version.
There's nothing worse than TV censorship, taking all the good stuff out. But anyways, I'm like, all right, I don't need to watch Predator 1 over again. I've seen it enough times. But you know what? I haven't really spent a whole lot of viewing times with the other movies in that franchise. And so I'm like, all right, well, I've got the internet. I'm going to acquire these, and I'm going to watch them one by one. And I'm not a binger, so I'm not. It's not something I could do in a couple of days. But I've gotten through Predator 2, which is when they're in the city.
Yep.
With Danny Glover, and just 2 nights ago, Alien versus Predator. Now, Predator 2, I've seen probably 2 or 3 times. And good God Almighty, it is horrible.
I like it.
Predator 2?
Predator 2, Danny Glover in the city, and it's just
seen it.
so 80s. It's so 80s. Early night.
Hey, it's 1990, which is basically still the 80s.
I mean, the clothing they used to wear, they look like they're wearing...
Remember, hold on.
They look like they're wearing bathrobes.
Predator 2 takes place in the future. If you remember, the beginning of that movie, I believe, is 1997.
So it came out in 90.
So that was their vision of what the future 7 years.
7 years later. 7 years later. Yes. Everyone has all the handguns have scopes on them because I guess that makes them look badass. I don't know. The Predator was kind of neat. The twist at the end was kind of interesting. But I mean, we all know what the Predator's all about. They're headhunters. They go out and they go to.
Well, we may not. The listeners may not know. Possible younger listeners may have never seen these movies.
All right, the name of the movie is Predator. Go from there. Yeah. But I thought it was silly, forgettable. I'll probably never watch that again.
The whole premise is silly. Right.
I think it's Predator 1. I think is a badass premise. An alien coming down just to.
What's the difference? Hold on. The same Predator 2 is the same. It's a retread, right? So it's not Predator 2 isn't a movie like Aliens where they took the idea of aliens
space truckers
and they went totally in a different direction, but still were true to kind of the concept at least. Like Aliens is an action movie. Alien is a slow kind of space horror.
So in that way. Predator 1 and Predator 2 are basically the same movie.
Right, it's basically a retread, kind of like how
Except one is in the woods and one is in the jungle and one is in the city.
Escape from Los Angeles is the same movie as Escape from New York. It just took place 16 years later.
Right.
But Predator 2, it's really violent and it's really entertaining, I think. I thought they did a good job with it, like putting the Predator in a different environment where he's not against like a crack team of special forces agents or whatever.
Yep.
And he's just up against some cops and gangsters, essentially.
I think my problem was that there were too many deaths taking place. If you look in the first one,
this is your problem with the Predator movie. Too many people were dying.
Yeah.
If you think about a Predator, you never want to be seen. You're in the shadows. It's not even till the damn 3/4 of the movie in First Predator that you actually see him for the first time because he's been hiding the whole time.
Sure.
He's been picking you off. But in the second one, he's there. He's killing everybody. He's not taking heads. It just
he doesn't take heads. He took some heads.
It just didn't work for me. And he's killing bad guys. He's only killing bad guys. What's up with that? He should be killing everybody.
No, he kills cops and bad guys.
Because they got in the way.
Or did I repeat myself?
He got in the way. All right. You can skip Predator 2. I'm not suggesting watch it. Ian, he wants me to watch them all. I'm going to watch them all. He even wants me to watch the second one to the next movie I'm going to talk about is Alien versus Predator, where basically...
if you thought Predator 2 was bad, oh my God, it's going to look like a masterpiece compared to Alien versus Predator 2.
I thought it was a lot better.
No.
All right, you're talking about Alien versus Predator 2.
Predator 2 is going to look like a masterpiece to you compared to Alien versus Predator 2.
Basically,
they both take place on Earth.
And I don't have this one brought up, but I think it came out in like 2004 maybe.
Or in a town or city.
So what's the deal with Alien versus Predator 2? Because I've seen the first.
We shouldn't talk about it until Conan sees it.
You can talk about
I haven't
what
seen
makes
the
it
second
bad.
one.
It's like I think the best description I've ever heard of it is it's like Dawson's Creek Predator, which is an old TV show. I've never seen the show, but it's like one of those teenage drama TV shows.
This might be the one that I was thinking about, where it was like kids at like a summer camp or something.
It's like a small town. The Predator and aliens attack a small town, and it's just ridiculous.
Well, just think of what we're talking about. You've got these
terrible.
two franchises, and it's a crossover. And they've mashed them together. However, ludicrous the idea, the concept behind putting them together is.
Now, the first one was good. Alien versus Predator. I liked
it's
it.
neat, and it's
fun.
You have both of these creatures basically playing to their strengths, and is finding themselves in the same room together, and it makes sense. And then you got humans.
Humans.
You got humans that are basically get kind of mixed up in the mash
and victimized. Yeah.
So, and by the way, and it did come out in 2004. When I watched it, everything came back to me. I remembered everything that I saw the first time around, which was probably back in 2004, and I think I'm going to quickly forget everything again because it's just that bad. But
that way, now you're saying it's bad?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
what's bad about
but
it?
it's fun. It's fun. It's a popcorn.
Well, if it's
eater.
fun, it isn't bad. What do you mean? What do you mean when you say bad?
Rewatchable, something that I would want to own, put it on my shelf, rewatch it, put it in my queue that is always there. I only rewatched it because I'm going back through all of them.
See, I can consider a movie good without ever wanting to rewatch it. I can sit down and watch a movie once, be like entertained by it, and never watch it again.
Well, I guess
that's how I feel about Candyman. It was a great movie. I'll never watch it again, though.
Candyman?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Really?
I heard they made a new one, though. Did you hear about that?
It may have been the new one that I watched. I'm not 100% sure.
Because the original one's from like the early 90s.
No, I watched the original then.
Okay. Yeah, I think they either are making or just came out with recently a new Candyman.
Oh, it's well worth watching.
Yeah.
It's very good.
If you've never seen it, definitely watch it. Don't pay money for it.
Watch what?
Alien versus Predator.
Okay.
It's fun. It's a romp. It's a popcorn romp.
If you like the Predator and Alien movies.
Anyway.
People do. People still look at ads on YouTube, Aria. They haven't figured out to turn the ads off.
I've gone to movie theaters in recent years. I've paid for
different.
movies.
Going to movie theaters is different.
Okay.
I'm talking about if you're just sitting at home.
Yeah, if it's part of if you've already paid Netflix and it happens to be there, then yeah, it's worth it. And you run out of Tiger King to watch, yeah, it's worth it.
Or if it happens to not be on Netflix, I'm a millennial. I'm not going to pay for this crap.
You shouldn't.
See, now, as a fan of the movies, the Alien versus Predator, a lot of people were disappointed by it because it didn't really keep to the comic books. Because it was the comic books is where that really got started in the 1990s, Dark Horse comics. I never grew up with like Marvel and DC, but I did read the Alien versus Predator comics because there's
which
like
was
gore
who produced
and
it?
Curse words in there.
Dark Horse?
Dark Horse, yeah. And the original Alien versus Predator comic series was fantastic. And the one aspect that they kept from it was I don't know, spoiler alert, the team up part towards the end of the movie, which I was glad that
How does that even make
kept that
sense?
You'll have to watch the movie to
teaming
find
up
out.
with a xenomorph?
No, teaming up with a predator.
Oh, yeah. Well, that happens maybe.
Yeah, they kept it. Well, as I said, spoiler.
But I don't know why that wouldn't make sense. I mean,
no, it did make sense. I loved it.
The predators have respect for other
That's
hunters.
That's the only thing they kept.
If you can prove that you are a capable hunter, you're going to have the predators' respect.
Yeah, and that was a cool aspect of the comics. The only thing they kept that was from the comics. But I liked the movie. It was fun.
It sounds like I'm going to have to check out Alien vs. Predator 2.
You are required.
Because I love bad movies.
You're going to love this.
855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Mojo would swallow things whole. A chicken carcass, a bird nest, and assorted stones and sticks. After surgery, Mojo had skin issues. He was constantly itching and scratching, chewing the hair right off of his legs.
DINOVITE.com.
On the Dynovite, all of these symptoms disappeared.
Dynovite is nutrition.
If you love your dog, you need to put him on Dynovite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret Shaving Oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Conan.
And we've been talking about various things that we're doing to just occupy our time in general.
Yeah, escape.
Have you played any good games lately?
No.
No, of course not. Too busy gardening?
No, dude, gardening is full swing right now. I have been so many hours out there. It's in my fingernails as I speak.
You gave up on the virtual garden in Fallout 4.
Hey, I've got priorities. You know,
Yeah,
I just just woke up. This Corona crap happened. It's like, I love you, Fallout, but real gardening versus virtual gardening. It doesn't make any sense.
I haven't spent any time doing anything differently because, you know, I've worked from home for years. So, I'm as busy as I've ever been, calling radio stations during the day. I slipped in a couple hours of playing Wolfenstein on the stream over the weekend, but it'd been 3 weeks before I played a video game prior to that. So,
what about you, Aria? You're not going to get that new Final Fantasy VII remake?
No. I will never get the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Looks pretty good. It's so pretty.
It does.
It looks really neat.
Yes. Yeah, but Square Enix doesn't know how to make games anymore. They haven't known how to make games since they merged with Enix.
If you like action anime.
I mean, the entire point of these games is to create an antagonist that you can hate. And they did this with the original 7 and with 6, but they don't know how to do that anymore. You see this with 10, 12, 13, with these mysterious antagonists that you can't create any sort of emotional connection with, that you can't hate, that you can't want to go after because they don't know what the hell they're doing.
So who was the last good bad guy? Sephiroth?
Ultimecia.
Which was which one?
8.
8.
Okay, so
and she was alluded to throughout the entire game as one of these, bad guys should be.
Right.
She
I
was
have never
omnipresent.
played a Final Fantasy game all the way through. I've only ever seen 7. I saw a friend playing 7 a little bit in the 1990s. So I'm familiar with 7 a little bit, but beyond that, not so much. I actually have a couple of Final Fantasy games, but I've never played them. That's been my problem as an adult, is like I'll acquire these games and never actually do anything with them. But if you're saying that the problem with Final Fantasy previously or in recent episodes has been that there's no real antagonist to hate, well, aren't they just remaking Final Fantasy VII? Wouldn't that have the antagonist unless they dramatically change the plot?
They are dramatically changing the game.
Are they? Well, they're stretching
I'm sure
it out,
the plot
right?
will still be there. Right. But they no longer know the art of making a villain that you hate. They can't replicate that.
But how hard
because they don't know that they're even missing it.
But wait a minute, if they're just remaking this game, how could they really screw that up is what I'm saying. Like if the previous game had a villain, and I don't know, was it Sephiroth? I don't know the name.
It was Sephiroth, yeah.
Okay, so they had a villain, that person had a name. How would they screw that up if they remade it?
Well, the interesting thing about 7 is that no one really hated Sephiroth. Because he was
he's an anti-villain. He's kind of he's fun.
He's likable or something? I don't know.
He's a badass.
Okay.
But did you ever see
he's awesome.
Did you ever see Advent Children?
I don't know.
It's the
I think so. Is that the stupid one that was like an hour and 40 minutes of CGI fight scenes?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And it's pretty.
All right, so what is it?
Dean, you were talking about movies that are, they're not necessarily a waste of time if you enjoyed watching them, even if they're completely stupid.
Right.
Advent Children is a prime example. It's just really pretty, and everyone's, they're all badass. They're all standing in their poses, like they wouldn't in real life. And Sephiroth is pretty neat in that movie. But I don't know how. I agree with Ian. How do you, if they are remaking the game point for point?
They're not making it. They're not remaking it point for point. I mean, you've already seen the trailers and the drastic changes.
I've seen the first,
made to it,
not the trailers.
right?
I watched the first hour of playthrough.
I also, having never actually seen any significant amount of its predecessor, I did happen to watch also about an hour.
I sat and watched the whole hour.
Me too. It drew me in.
It was entertaining.
Yeah, it drew me in. I'm like, wow, this is really good.
The first boss scene, and it wasn't easy either.
That boss looked hard as hell.
It took him like 10 minutes to beat him.
It took longer than that in the one I watched. He kept getting killed.
The only difference I can see is that now it is action, and you've got a button push.
Yes,
instead of just...
That seems like a huge change.
And that's stupid. The strategy aspect of these games has always been one of the best parts.
But they still have a thing. Hold on,
this-
they still have the thing where the action slows way down, and then you can select spells.
Yeah,
to
you can
cast
go into your menu and whatnot. I think it slows down to a certain extent.
Yeah, look way down. It still moves, but real slow.
Does it play itself like 13 did?
No, the guy I saw play is making all kinds of choices with the characters, so it's not like a.
Well, you made those in 13 too, but they ultimately didn't really have any impact.
I know your other characters are doing their own thing, and you can set them up to behave accordingly. And I don't remember which the first game it went that route, which was kind of live action.
12. And you can switch to them too, right?
12. And so, you set up your other characters to do their thing. So if you want them to throw a potion when you get to a certain health rate limit, they will. And you can switch back and forth as well.
Yeah. It looked pretty cool because, I'm also somebody who's, as an older gamer, right? I'm like, I don't want to play all these live RPGs where the clock don't stop and I can't sit and think about what to do, right? I don't want to have the clock running. But this actually looked fairly playable. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
there's also this huge rift between Final Fantasy VI fans and Final Fantasy VII fans.
Okay.
And I'm a Final Fantasy VI fan.
Didn't you name yourself after one of the songs in 6?
I did.
Okay.
7 is inferior to 6 in every conceivable way.
Wow.
I think they're
speaking of rehashes.
I think
7 is a rehash of 6.
I think they're different games.
Well, here's the biggest problem. According to the commentary I was listening to on this remake, the biggest concern is, are they ever going to finish it? Because apparently,
it's out. It's available on PS4 now.
That's not what I understand. I understand this is the first part of the remake. So, you know how back in the day they had 4 discs?
4 discs,
right?
yeah, right.
Well, now they're making
7 was 3 discs.
4 games or 3 games or 2. I don't know how many games they're going to come out with, but you don't end this game. This game doesn't end at the end of the game. It's supposedly going to be continued in the next game. So, and
I didn't know they
apparently
actually went through with that. I knew they had discussed it, saying that each disc was, each game they released, I guess how I'm going to put it, was going to be the equivalent of the original game.
And
So-
as far as its length, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
instead
they're
of lasting-
stretching it,
yeah.
right? Like they're somehow padding the story or whatever, or maybe it just takes longer to play. I don't know how they're doing
Which
that. 'cause
sounds
I
like
can't
a pacing nightmare
I
for a
can't
company
compare
that
it.
can't write stories anymore.
But from what the guy said, there's going to be more games because it's not over after this one.
This has never worked out well for gaming companies. That there are countless projects that, we're going to serialize this, and then they get 2 or 3 episodes in,
And they fail or
and that's
whatever.
it.
Well, hey, you know
So
what?
It could be a disaster from that aspect.
Is it on PC yet?
No, and it won't be for a year because Sony acquired a year-long exclusive with
And
them.
that's where I'm going with this. It doesn't matter anything to me because I'm not playing it on console.
It's another reason to hate them.
Done. Yeah, exactly.
But you watched it for an hour and you enjoyed watching it.
Yep.
I'm interested to see what people who are skeptical think about it because in the pipeline one day they're going to remake Final Fantasy VI. It's the only other one that comes close in popularity.
Yeah,
to 7.
aren't they remaking all the Resident Evils as we speak?
She's playing Resident Evil 3 remake right now on our streams.
And I'm loving it.
This is the way it works. They're running out of good
They got no ideas.
They got no ideas, and it's all about nostalgia now. Now it's just
Yeah.
going back and reliving your
Milk those
childhood.
30s and 40s people for all their money.
Exactly.
My benefit with Resident Evil 3 is that I never played the original.
Mhm.
So it's a completely new and fresh experience for me.
That's
But I
interesting.
did play the second one, and I bought the second remake because, I loved the original RE2, and the second remake was extremely awesome, so I was excited about the third. So I guess it worked out for them in the end.
I'm actually watching some of the Resident Evil movies right now.
Oh, yeah? Are they good? I don't think I've ever seen any.
Jonovich is beautiful.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Conan.
And Intercoin's programmable coins are designed to help groups raise money for a new project or initiative in a way that is compliant with regulations. Coins can represent securities that obey individual rules, like not being sold to U.S. residents for 40 days. Purchase coins can contain rules that govern how they are to be spent and when they can be cashed out. And Intercoin itself is designed to provide full trustless liquidity between any currency pairs, removing the need to list coins on exchanges to enable secondary trading. Intercoin is attempting to regain some of our financial freedoms that are threatened on the internet and in meat space. We think that it is important here on Free Talk Live, so important that Free Talk Live accepted $40,000 worth of Intercoin tokens from Intercoin Inc. for advertising. If you think freedom is important too, check out Intercoin at intercoin.org. That's INTER coin.org. You can invest in this project and potentially make big gains, or just be involved and perhaps shape its future. Again, that's intercoin.org. Let's go to the phones. We've got Mike calling from Washington. Mike, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi, Aria. Good to hear you. I got three quick things. First is gardening for gamers. Since I'm not I do play solitaire on the computer. Have you guys ever done that? It's amazing.
A long time ago, yes.
Okay, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I just don't play. I'm old. So gardening for gamers. I grow these mixed lettuce seed packs in like a stolen Coca-Cola flat or something, a short tote, anything, 6 inches of dirt. And you line these things up. You plant one, you plant the other one, you plant the third one, for however many you want. You literally every day can go cut like a large salad from these seed packs. They just grow really fast. And like you cut them down 2 days later, you can cut that same container again. So it's kind of fun. Plus you're like eating fresh lettuce every day, fresher than you're going to get at any store. Well, not necessarily any store, but that's really cool. I have a movie recommendation.
Ooh, yeah.
Have you guys ever seen, it's a Brad Pitt movie, and I'm not a big fan, but I watched Moneyball by accident recently. Do you know what the movie's about?
Is that a baseball movie?
It's like the
baseball stats.
Yes, it's about baseball stats from the Oakland A's in the 70s. Now, as a child, I had to watch all 20 games during school of this, like 72. But anyway, they changed the way they picked players, not by their girlfriend's looks, but how many times they actually got on base. And it was a guy from Yale that actually is the one that changed it. Brad Pitt, Billy Beane was actually who he portrayed. Anyway, he bought this guy from the Mets, and the Oakland A's wound up going to win 20 in a row. And then 2 years later, a team that offered Billy Beane millions of dollars to come and be their guy, he turned it down because he had a young daughter that he didn't want to leave. And they wound up going to the World Series, and they broke that voodoo curse. Anyway, enough of baseball. And Aria, this is a personal
Well, what did you like
question.
about it? Hold on. What did you like about the movie?
What I liked about it, that Brad Pitt played like such a role that you would never expect him. There was no like woman in the movie. There was no six-pack, nothing. He was just a regular guy, and he just is like his most mature role I ever saw. And it was just a really great story. And the person that was from Yale actually is the kid that played it. He was a gun runner in a newer movie, 22-year-old. I can't remember. He's a heavy-set kid. Anyway, it was just a really well-made movie, and I think anybody that enjoys baseball or Brad Pitt would really enjoy watching this movie and keep it in their collection.
That guy Jonah Hill lost a lot of weight in the last year or two. He's a skinny guy. He's skinny
is that
now.
his name? Anyway, great actor. Great. It was just great. And then my third thing was, Aria, last time I heard you on, I think it was about a week and a half ago, you mentioned Superman, and that led me to remind myself that I've watched Batman versus Superman over and over and over and over. Are you Lex Luthor by chance in that movie? Because if you look at that Lex Luthor character, this is that Batman versus Superman or whatever it is. And Lex Luthor, I swear, could be Aria.
Really?
I mean, it is just like amazingly resemblance.
I do not know how to respond to
business.
that.
Have you seen the movie?
Well, it's not an insult by any means. I'm not insulting you. It's just really, I just kept, when I watched it, it's like, wait, because I've seen you on YouTube. And I'm like, wow, is it possible that she's moonlighting?
As Lex Luthor.
No.
The evil genius.
Look, if you just look that up real quick while you're sitting there playing that game, you're going to crack up. It's so hilarious. It's just funny anyway. You guys have a great night, and thanks for doing what you do.
He just outed you for playing a game, Aria.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Thank you so much for. He's not. I'm selling Bitcoin.
Jesse Eisenberg is the guy who played the Lex Luthor in that variation, in that reality.
And
do
I look like this person?
I'll have to watch it again. I don't think so.
Are you a big comic book movie fan, Conan?
I watched them all.
Have you? Okay.
I haven't seen the one with the crazy girl in it. I'm kind of boycotting it.
I don't know what that is.
The Captain America or something. What's that?
I don't know. There's been so many of these things.
I'm not like Mark where I religiously go see them and actually watch them in the movie
more than
theater.
Once. He'll go and watch more than once. Like, they've had so many of them. What have there been? Dozens of these movies now in just the last decade? These Marvel movies?
Well, the Marvel movies had a overarching story, and I think there were 17 of them in total.
Which is why it's like, oh my
God. It lasted like 2 decades, yeah.
And now
Has it been that long?
And
2
now,
decades?
and I don't think they know what they're going to do. And now that Disney's in charge,
It goes all the way back to the original Hulk movie that they made in 2003, 2004.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen Captain Marvel, and I haven't seen Black Panther yet.
I've only seen one of them, and that was Doctor Strange, and I love the hell out of that.
Now they are coming out with another one of those.
I heard about that. That was far out, man.
That was very fun to watch. It was very pleasing to the eyes.
I was on some mushrooms.
I skipped
fantastic.
Well, let's keep going. We've got Liberty Phoenix on the line. Liberty Phoenix, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey guys, before I get to what I actually called for, I have to absolutely agree with Aria that Ultimecia is the last good villain in the Final Fantasy series.
Thank you.
Next to Kefka, Ultimecia is there. And they absolutely did screw up Final Fantasy VII. They're chopping it into 7 different games. They're
7 games?
I'm sorry, 6 games.
Wait.
6 games?
And are they charging $60 a pop?
$80 a pop.
What?
If you want the extra stuff. If you want all the extra stuff, because you get extra materia for each game.
All right. Well, we just figured out what
I'm
this.
against it on that.
We just figured out what this all boils down to. They are milking the nonsense out of this.
You think Final Fantasy VII has the most rabid fan base on the planet?
It's generally considered one of the best RPGs of all time. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but people love
My
that
roommate
game.
has the new one, and it is good, except for the fluff quests. Like you have to find cats at one point. You have to find kids with swords on their backs at one point.
Now, you said it ends when you leave Midgar, right?
Correct. Yeah, when you leave Midgar is when the first game ends.
And for those of us that don't know what that means, that's relatively early.
In the original game.
Like,
3 hours at the most is how long it would take you to
So they
achieve
took
that.
So they took, just to make sure I'm following this, they took 3 hours in the original game from the 90s, Final Fantasy VII.
Stretched it to 45 hours.
And stretched that to its own 45-hour remake.
I can't imagine how much fluff that actually contains.
My God.
Loads, but you still have to get, you still have to go into the hot tub to get the good dress and the panties and the deodorant.
So they kept the cross dressing. That's good.
Yeah,
kudos to them on that.
45 hours. They were still able to keep most of the original storyline. So that's
but
cool.
the pacing has to be awful. Because that's
and
And that's the issue here, is that they have to redo the entire story to make it last for 240 hours or however long that's going to be when they made 6 of these things.
Well, I'll tell you, watching the first hour like Conan did, I was pretty entranced by it. Like, it looked nice. It didn't seem to be bad pacing, but then again, it wasn't. I didn't see the whole first hour because there were a few cuts in there, so I don't know how much got cut out.
Yeah,
well, you also saw 1 hour of a 45-hour game.
Yeah.
So the real reason that I wanted to call, guys, is to find out if you're going to Anarcho Vegas.
I hope so. Is it going to actually happen? I've heard they're trying to make it happen.
Well, I'm slated to DJ the closing party, so you guys have to be there.
When is it?
It is July 17th, or sorry, July 18th and 19th, at I believe it's one of the station casinos.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the call. I'll give it some consideration, but me personally, I'm going to Vegas in the end of May, so I'm not likely to be up for another Vegas trip.
You'll have to tell us what it's like.
Yeah, 855-450-FREE.
Join me, George Norrie, in Indian Wells, California, May 29th to June 1st for the Contact in the Desert UFO Conference, an epic weekend of exploration into UFOs, ancient civilizations, crop circles, and so much more. Over 150 lectures, panels, workshops, and events with leading experts: Paul Hellyer, Linda Moulton Howe, Nick Pope, Emery Smith, Stephen Greer, Russell Targ, Doc Wallach, Leslie Kane, and more. Get your tickets at contactinthedesert.com. It's time to make contact. Contactinthedesert.com.
Oh, so you're wearing a mask every day now? Where are you getting them?
The same website where I get my neck and body wraps, sunnybay.com. And they're handmade.
Really?
Just like their wraps in the USA.
Oh, and good quality?
Oh, very good. These are disposable face masks.
And good price?
That's the best part. I get a 10-pack for only $6.
Wow.
Yes, as a public service, we're now sourcing disposable face masks with level 1 protection at sunnybay.com. Get a 10-pack of high-quality, more breathable face masks, only $6. Our face masks are hypoallergenic, latex-free, and made for stress-free all-day wearing. Or choose our N95 respirator masks 2-pack for only $6. Supplies are limited, so place your order at sunny-bay.com, a Biomed DB design company right here in the USA. Go to sunny-bay.com and purchase your disposable face masks online. 10 masks for only $6. Just click sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com.
Anytime, any place, anywhere, radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Welcome back to the War for the White House bunker. A troubling new report from the Shuttleworth Institute shows that due to Facebook, every potential candidate for the 2040 presidential race, no matter how smart or accomplished, is now completely unelectable. I'm standing in the 2012 Democrat with Jason Copeland. Jason, walk us through this.
Yeah, we're looking at really a political crisis. The Democrats are currently searching basements and creepy backyard sheds in search of somebody who was kidnapped at a young enough age that they have no online presence.
That is a very interesting tactic.
And the GOP has been looking at this young man. This is a 20-year-old Jeeves Jones. He's currently living in Appalachia with his fundamentalist Christian grandmother and no electricity.
So Jeeves has no Facebook page?
Jeeves does not. In fact, he's completely illiterate. And the Republican Party has begun grooming him for a possible candidacy in 2036.
All right. Well, at least there's someone. Thank you, Jason Copeland.
Thanks, Andrea.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number's 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Conan.
And I want to say thank you to Bogart, who is tonight's amplifier. He's a gold-level amplifier, which means he gives $10 per month to the AMP program that you can find at amp.freetalklive.com. Of course, we don't ask that. To join the program, it only takes a $5 donation. But AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. It's money that is used specifically to advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live. So if you like the show, if you like what we're doing, and you want to help us get on more radio stations and all that awesome stuff, check out the AMP program. It's the best way to do it. Bogart, thank you so much, and we hope you continue enjoying and amplifying the show.
It's been nice talking about something besides COVID.
It has.
It was a good escape from reality. Or maybe we're escaping into the real world, and all of this nonsense we've been talking about for the first 2 hours of this evening is the Black Mirror Twilight Zone that was brought up on multiple occasions, and maybe the simulation's coming apart.
Well,
speaking of escaping reality, we've got David on the line from New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live.
That's his impression of you, right, Aria?
Is that all you got, David?
It's pretty lame.
I wasn't impressing Aria. That was my genuine reaction to Aria's humor.
I'm sure.
It
sounded genuine.
Did it? Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to make it sound not genuine.
All right, what were you calling about?
Aria made me forget now.
Obviously, the liquor stores are up and running where you're from.
It says cop arrested. Did a cop get arrested there?
Cop arrested. We don't need no liquor stores. We make our own. A little bit of copper tubing. So anyhow, cop arrested. So like you were saying, break from the COVID thing. This COVID thing has made it so there are like 6 cops that have been arrested in New Mexico in that COVID time period and haven't been getting any of them. So here's the best one. The headline that you can search is video. There's video attached. It's really good video. Former APD officer arrested for battery kidnapping charges. And in this video, you get to see 2 really fun things. One, you get to see him cuffed, and they're cutting his uniform off of him with a scissors. And then a little bit later in the video, you get to see him sitting in the jail looking really sad. So it's worth watching.
Now, what did he do allegedly? What was the crime that he committed? He committed kidnapping?
He beat up his wife, his girlfriend, whatever. He choked her, he dragged her, he gave her a brain bleed.
What did we say earlier about cops? Abusive?
40%
towards their wives?
Yeah, and if you look at the guy, you can see the telltale signs of steroid use if you look at him close and you know what you're looking for.
I believe it.
So, Jeffrey Wharton.
Well, it's cool that they cut off his uniform. I don't enjoy seeing other people sad, really, even if they were immoral pigs. But, to each their own. David, thank you so much for the call.
Yeah, I mean, I don't participate in Schadenfreude. Which is a German word that means taking pleasure in other people's pain. It doesn't make me happy to see people suffering, even if they've caused suffering. But at the same time, I don't feel bad for them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
too bad,
buddy.
think that meting out justice does feel good. But I mean, we've had this conversation before. What's the difference between justice and vengeance?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's a fine line there. But when I see someone get their share, their due at the end of the day for bad things that they've done to other human beings, I don't know. I don't feel bad. I do feel kind of good. It is to me, it's progress. It's in the right direction. It's consequences that have been met, have been dealt, and maybe we'll be better off. And maybe even that individual who's been punished maybe he'll figure something out and he'll fix his
I don't know,
ways.
man. That doesn't really sound like a healthy reaction to seeing someone suffering. Is to feel good about it.
Well, I mean, it depends on what they were about. Someone beating his wife gave her a brain bleed. Excuse me.
I would like to see that situation come to an end.
How do you fix that person, though? How do you fix that cop if you don't punish them? You just let them. You just pat them on the back and forgive them, and say, "Hey,
well, you don't reward them, and rewarding good behavior and ignoring bad behavior is a far better way of changing people's behavior than punishing bad behavior."
But I'm not saying I delight in seeing people suffer.
Mm-hmm.
I said this is why I brought up the difference between justice and vengeance.
Right. I see what you're saying.
I think justice should be. I'm not going to go throw a party or anything, but I'm thinking that if you do feel good, I'm not going to say you should feel bad about that. That feeling. I'm thinking that feeling is natural, and that should be something that we should all meting out justice to bad people should feel good.
But this is why people are laughing when they see on Facebook or in the news that this pastor who held services despite COVID-19 is now sick in the hospital with COVID-19.
Is this the one who went back and this is lots of pastors are doing this. So
they see the same thing. Oh, it's his punishment. It's justice being served.
Yeah, but that's not justice. That's not justice.
It's justice from their point of view.
I see what you're saying here, Conan. There is a difference between relishing the punishment of another person,
being a straight sadist,
and then being like, okay, he got what he deserved, or like feeling satiated with, okay, this person has been given justice,
and maybe will actually represent progress. Maybe we'll actually, maybe it'll be good for the spouse that was beat. Maybe it'll be good for this dude who's beating on his wife. He'll learn a lesson, and all the rest of us can learn from this. Don't do this. This is bad.
Like, you wouldn't have gone out in the streets, like you said. You wouldn't have
thrown a party.
Like when what was it? Not Osama. Yeah, Osama bin Laden. When Osama bin Laden, remember people were partying in the streets.
Or even
Saddam Hussein?
Gaddafi.
Yeah,
they were dragging him through the streets butt naked.
But I mean, in the United States, people remember they were partying when the United States was claiming to have killed Osama bin Laden. There were literally people out in the streets waving flags and like drinking and woo America. And I was like, whoa, that's totally.
Yeah, you didn't know this guy. You only knew what you were told.
Right.
He never did anything to you. Only what was told that he did to you. He's on the other side of the world. You don't know this guy, and yet you're here. You are having a party about the death of this guy.
Yeah,
no, it's different. If it's like your neighbor, obviously this community probably found out about this guy, and he was dealt with. They cut his uniform off of him. I think that. Which
is not bad. I'm definitely not opposed to that. Cut his uniform off of him, forcibly fire him.
Yeah.
Great. Or not forcibly, but you know what I mean. Fire him. And do so in a way that is humiliating and that leaves a lasting impression.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
But as far
I think that Dave, the pictures are probably worth 1,000 words. Probably everyone should take a look and just to see. Not to have a party, not to laugh at the guy, not to feel good, but to actually see the consequences of bad actions. And this is what it'll lead you to.
I mean, it's certainly effective to an extent to punish bad actions, right? Like when the dog pees on the rug or whatever, you punish him in some way, shaking a can of beans or whatever.
Does that work?
I don't know. I don't train dogs, man. I train cats.
I know what you don't do.
And you spray them with a squirt bottle. It's really easy.
Yeah.
I think we need Cesar Millan on this one because I know that a lot of people mess up in this department where they'll like start smacking their dog with a shoe or something.
You should never hit an animal.
Yeah, or they'll take the pee or the poop and they'll shove it in their face, and that doesn't work either because all you do is
that either. The better alternative is to take the dog outside, let it do its thing, and then reward it for doing its thing outside.
You just hit on it.
Rewarding good behavior.
Yeah, don't punish the bad behavior and as beating the silly thing, but to reward good behavior.
Yeah.
And
it's far more effective.
That works, yes, because then the dog wants to keep doing that.
Now, we need a society
because it makes you happy.
That has a justice system built on that exact same concept.
Okay, so let's go with this. Let's go back to the cop. Let's take the dog training analogy. How do you fix this cop with a reward?
A free market. A free market that rewards people for not beating the hell out of their spouses. and one that punishes them for doing so by firing them, or not necessarily punishing them, but restricting them from other opportunities. Whether or not that qualifies as a punishment, is debatable.
I could only imagine a guy going home and he's got his trophies on his wall. Hey, what's that trophy all about? Oh, this one is from 2012. I didn't beat my wife that year.
Well, it wouldn't be that stark, but I mean, yeah. A police officer who doesn't have domestic violence issues, give him a raise. That's rewarding good behavior.
And I think,
obviously, in a free market, cops wouldn't really exist in the first place. But
security would, but not necessarily what we've got. People,
And I think we would see crime rates and spouse abuse and all that crap just plummet, because we would be actually utilizing psychology to create a better world instead of a barbaric system of punishment. This has been Free Talk Live. If you like the show, head on over to amp.freetalklive.com. That's amplify, market, and promote. amp.freetalklive.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had got involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments